This is the Discover Card Countdown to 3 as we get ready to go racing.
The Martinsville Speedway in Virginia was built in 1947. The NASCAR Winston Cup Series first came here in 1956. More than 90,000 fans will be here today as the championship countdown continues. This race has a long history of exciting moments and close finishes. If you measure the road to the Winston Cup Championship in miles, 526 of the toughest miles are right here. Buckle up, Virginia. NASCAR has returned to Martinsville.
Defending NASCAR Winston Cup Series champion, the victory lane.
5 races remain before we can crown this year's Winston Cup champion.
Kenseth will win. An exciting finish here today.
Since March, championship leader Matt Kenseth has been impossible to catch. But today, he brings his big lead to Martinsville.
Oh, we go spin. There's Junior.
Clear. Keep going. No caution. No caution. Don't slow down.
But racing here is no small challenge. Last year, Kurt Busch powered his way to the win. Now, with 5 giant steps remaining in the race to the championship, everyone wants to have a big day at Martinsville.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me double shot of
NBC Sports presents the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Live from Martinsville Speedway in Virginia, it's the Subway 500. Twice a year, the Winston Cup Series comes to this half-mile track, the shortest on the circuit. But with just 5 races remaining, it is one of the tallest in stature. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Weber. Our NBC Race family welcomes you to Martinsville with this reminder. This is a very important race on the road to the championship, so please don't interfere with any foul balls that might be catchable. 43 cars on a half-mile track for 500 laps. Something big is going to happen here today. The only questions, when, where, and who. Championship leader Matt Kenseth starts 14th after starting 28th or worse in the last 3 races. We start with Marty Snider.
Bill, along the road to the championship, there are many hurdles, but for Matt Kenseth, perhaps none bigger than little old Martinsville today. How critical is this race for your race team, Matt?
Well, I mean, if you look at our stats, this is probably the biggest challenge we have left on the circuit is Martinsville, just for all-out performance. So, we didn't run very good here in the spring, but we had a really good test the other week here, and I feel good about our car for today. So, the last few tracks coming up after this, I feel really great about, and I don't feel bad about today, but it is going to be definitely our biggest challenge.
How important is this race for the 17 team? They saved their last test of the season for right here. See if they could get better at Martinsville. Matt Yoakum.
Marty, the math for Kevin Harvick is simple. He has to average 53 more points over the next 5 races than Matt Kenseth to win the championship. Now, at a racetrack that demands patience to be successful, how patient can you be today, Kevin?
Well, I don't think you can be too patient. I mean, you got to take care of the brakes, you got to take care of your fenders and things like that. But if you're too patient, you tend to get run over here at Martinsville. So hopefully the Jim Goodwrench Chevrolet is as good as it was yesterday, and we can keep our car at the front.
Now, you've tried to have fun over this championship chase with the 17 team, but I understand someone had some fun on you.
Yeah, somebody toilet papered my car last night and put Matt Kenseth's decals and license plates all over it. But it's a lot of fun right now. It's fun just being in the championship hunt, and compared to last year, it's a night and day difference.
He's going to try to close that championship gap today. He rolls off from the 5th position. To Dave Burns.
Matt Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 3rd in the championship, and we're at a track today where he just keeps getting better and better. What about it? Can you make up some ground on Matt and Kevin today?
We got an opportunity here. It's a good track for us, and we feel like we've got a car that can win. We got the long run set up in it, so it probably won't take off real fast here, but halfway through the race, we should have the car to beat.
All right, Junior, of course, going for his first championship. We all know that Jeff Gordon has been there before.
Another NASCAR Winston Cup championship, his 4th, one of only 3 men to win 4 or more championships.
Everybody wants to be the man at the top. Everybody wants to be the man at the top now. Dreaming of his record in the #1 spot. Everybody wants to be the man at the top.
4 Winston Cup championships. Today goes for the Martinsville sweep. Those 4 championships, some down to the last race, some you've won earlier in the season. Can you put us in Matt Kenseth's seat right now, what he's going through?
Well, you know, you always say that you just have to keep doing what you've been doing all year long, but it just seems like there's, as the season winds down, more and more riding on every position, every lap, and you get to a place like Martinsville and you just never know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm sitting on the pole today, and I know we've got a good car, but I have no idea what's going to transpire throughout this race that's going to allow us to get a good finish out of this day, and you just got to ride it out and run as hard as you can.
Well, that wipes out my second question of whether or not you can sweep. So can you get to second in the championship standings?
Well, we're certainly going to work as hard as we can. This is a great way for us to do that. The last 4 or 5 races for us have been really good, but they've been good for all the other guys who are racing in points too. So, you know, we're going to try to take advantage of being on the pole and having that #1 pit stall over there, and hopefully we can just be as solid as we have been the last few races and get to victory lane for the first time since we were here in spring.
All this racing going on, and you got a book coming out now. What's that all about?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been working on it for a while with a guy named Steve Eubanks, and you know, it really is about rebuilding this team to get them back in championship form like we did over 99, 2000, 2001, and sort of where we're at today. And there was a lot of interesting things that transpired then, and a lot of really exciting things that led up to that are still happening today.
Okay, and that book comes out the end of the month, and you're raising some money for charity. You're giving a car away?
We are giving a car away. I think it's a great way for somebody to get a Monte Carlo. It's going to cost you $100. We've got a raffle. You can go to jeffgordonfoundation.org and find out more information, or be able to sign up on getting a raffle ticket. But basically, there's 2,000 tickets available. They're $100 each. And in December, I'm going to draw a name out. We're going to hand over that special edition Jeff Gordon Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet.
All right, well, good luck with that, and be careful on pit road today. It's a little narrow.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff Gordon, the pole sitter, takes him to the green flag. Here's a look at the NASCAR top 10 heading into today's race. Matt Kenseth leads by 267 points with 5 races remaining. From second place, Kevin Harvick, to sixth place, Gordon, it's just 140 points. Tony has climbed to 7th in the standings. The Labonte brothers dropped a spot. And 10th place, Kurt Busch, has 5 drivers right behind him within 157 points. That's the first lap. Here's what's coming up on the Discover Card Countdown to Green. Dave discovers the secrets of fuel mileage magic as we get ready for 500 laps at Martinsville. Benny Parsons introduces us to one Winston Cup Jackman who doesn't just travel on the weekends, he's always on the road. We'll hit the track with Rusty Wallace and his son Steven, and we'll hit the water with wild man Robbie Gordon. All just ahead on the Discover Card Countdown to Green.
Discover Card Countdown to Green. Brought to you by Discover to Go. It pays to discover. By Subway, fresh-made sandwiches on fresh-baked bread. Subway, eat fresh. And by Prestone. When you want protection inside and out, you want the Prestone family.
This track in Southern Virginia is about 144.6 miles from the airport in Charlotte, North Carolina. I upgraded the rental car for the travel odometer. So here's my question. Since I took the fuel purchase option and can return the gas tank empty, will my fuel mileage be good enough to get me back to the airport without stopping because I'm not stopping? Or will I run out and end up just coasting along while everybody else races by? Well, as Dave discovers, 43 other drivers are wondering the same thing.
Bill, the big question is, how does anyone in this sport get better gas mileage? There are 100 different things you can do. I'm going to let you start with 3 today. Carburetor choice is important. NASCAR sets a maximum limit on the size of the carburetor. But if you can afford to give up a couple of horsepower, you can run less carburetor and save yourself fuel. The gear you choose makes a difference. If you can give up a little performance, you can save fuel, perhaps make that stretch to the end. And the other thing is the driver's foot. What he does with that foot does matter. Is he smooth as he goes to the gas? And does he know when to take advantage of times when he doesn't have to have the pedal entirely to the metal? Now, when Ryan Newman began winning on fuel mileage, a lot of people said there must be something amiss in the amount of fuel he's getting into his car, storing it somewhere between the fuel cell and the motor. But you know what? NASCAR checks this stuff at least 3 times every weekend, and every time, the 12 car is clean. Now, not every race is going to be won on fuel mileage, but it's a strategy that when it comes time, you better know how to play well. Bill?
Thanks, Dave. The one drawback to a half-mile track, where to put 43 pit stalls. Since the fall race here in 1999, all the stalls have been located on one long and winding pit road. It is always congested and often confusing. For the pit crew, roadside assistance is a very demanding job. What team might have an advantage out there today? Well, maybe Tony Stewart's bunch, because Jackman Chuck White truly does know how to design the road to victory lane. Here's Benny.
What's your job Monday through Friday?
I am the county maintenance engineer. I work with the Department of Transportation in North Carolina, and I have all of Rowan County, which consists of about 1,000 miles of roads we maintain.
So if it's got a pothole in Rowan County, call you.
Yeah, you'll get me in trouble doing that.
But on Sundays, Chuck works for Tony Stewart at 6 foot 5 inches, 260 pounds. He's one of the biggest jackmen on pit road. You big guy like you can play football?
Ballet.
Oh, you're
I'm just kidding.
I can see you in a tutu, right? Yeah.
I look good.
Yeah. Oh, you look.
Pete looks good on me.
Yeah.
Actually, people were surprised at how much it does take to jack the car up. I mean, they'll go out there and like, oh, it won't take that much, but it does take a good little bit of effort. But like I say, on the right side, you want to get it in one pump because you're back there trying to pull the right rear tire off to help the tire changer catch up because he's got to chase the car down.
And so you're going to widen the road to somewhere in here?
Yeah, we're going to widen the road, like I say, 3 foot on each side to give you 6 foot more road. So what we'll do is we'll come out here and we'll move the ditch from there over to here. But as you can see, you've got rock in the way. Yeah. So what we've got to do with this rock is we've got to come out here and blast this rock out.
Dynamite?
Yes.
And this machine just chops the trees down?
It's organic material that decomposes. It's not harmful to the environment. It saves us money having to haul it to a landfill or to a dump somewhere or another. And like I say, it allows me to have my employees doing other things as far as grading that we don't have to bring in here and do clearing work with.
How about the championship last year, that big crew?
We stood up on stage there and we talked and was like, you know what? The next time we're out here having to run in a hot heat or having to do practices and stuff like that, we start saying, what is this worth? You know, why are we doing this? We're going to remember New York and say, hey, we're going to get back here.
Chuck and Tony start 16th today and will pit in stall number 18 along the front stretch, behind Jason Leffler and in front of Jamie McMurray. That stall, like all the others, is just 15 feet wide and 28 feet long. That's tight. Next, the wet and wild world of 3-time winner Robbie Gordon. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
When you're in the water, just little movements changes the pitch a ton.
So since your buddy invented it, were you the guinea pig?
No, actually these guys are really good on it. I'm not that good on this thing. So I can flip it?
Yeah, you can flip it.
Really?
And it's just another tool for you to be crazy.
This thing's pretty nutty.
He's crazy! That man is insane! You see that? He's insane!
The countdown continues. Robbie Gordon began this season with one career victory. He got that at New Hampshire in November of 2001 on a Friday and had to move the other Gordon out of the way to do it. This season, he has swept both road course races, has 10 top 10 finishes, and is 15th in the championship standings, just 157 out of 10th. This is the year when the kid from California finally made a big splash.
You don't do any crazy stuff on the water now, do you? I mean, you keep it tame, right?
What do you consider crazy?
Well, upside down, maybe, I don't know, some things like that.
I don't know, I just kind of ride around on top of the water. You know, I can't really afford to get injured.
Spend 5 minutes with Robbie Gordon and you'll realize this guy is crazy.
Marty and Pam are completely responsible for my actions today on the water. If I am injured, they report to RC. I really didn't want to play today. And from the top, it looks just like a wakeboard with a sit-down chair. Instead of having 2 feet turned sideways, 2 feet are going forward. These wings are like kind of like an Indy car on ovals, where the wings give you pitch or downforce. These give me lift or a dive. Either way, I position my body to point the things. Helmet or no helmet?
Yeah.
You know what?
No, wear the helmet. Wear the helmet.
No, we're good.
Sam, what's the likelihood he's actually going to get injured? Pretty good. Now he's going to come across and flip. Here we go. Yes, sir! Very nice. Very good, Gordon. Oh, ow. You're crazy. What? You're going to try to flip it right away.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to flip.
I do. Do that again. Don't fall this time. Did you hurt yourself?
No.
Okay, good.
We're
glad.
control. It's out of control. Stay out of control. We're 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 out of control.
I don't think we should call you Flash anymore. We should call you Showtime.
Why?
Yeah, that's trick. You want to do that one?
Yeah, on the way in, I'll do 2 in a row.
All right.
Like, same time.
Okay. Oh, man. You're a nut. You really are a 16-year-old and a 34-year-old's body, aren't you?
I told you. Isn't that the best?
You're crazy, man. You are insane. I think this is one of those where you sit down and shut up. And I was right. Even our cameraman had trouble keeping pace with Robbie.
She might have broke. Yeah, my last fuel pump.
You got no fuel pressure, but you got fuel.
That's why I'm thinking that.
Oh, no.
We're taking on water, Captain.
Dang, we might be screwed.
But Robbie the driver became Robbie the crew chief. And on this day, like most, nothing could slow him down.
You know, I just have fun, and I think everybody that races cars in this whole racing industry sometimes gets taken way too serious. We actually race cars in a circle for a living and get paid for it.
Contrary to popular reports, nobody was injured in the taping of that segment, even though Robbie did try to injure me several times. But the water's no challenge for you, Robbie. Martinsville may be a different story. Starting 37th, Kenny turned into a top 10 today.
Well, we were really good. We were 11th before qualifying. Thought we had a shot at it, so I overdrove the car and ended up having to take a provisional because I got it sideways a couple times. But we were pretty good in happy hour. We were 24th the first happy hour. We went and experimented in the second happy hour, came back to where we were the first one. I think we've got a good shot at it. Passing at Martinsville is real difficult. I got to keep my nose clean, like I said. Got to keep those brake ducts and all that stuff so they're working and cool. Brakes are really hard on the cars here.
Just like we saw on the boat, nothing slows Robbie Gordon down, including starting 37th at Martinsville, Bill.
Thanks, Marty. Next, we'll hit the track in Wally's car. But Wally won't be at the wheel. He wasn't here. And while he was gone, his Mountain Dew Dodge got a little rusty.
Wow. Open, banging into the final corners. Craven rides Jarrett up the racetrack. Here they come off the turn. Ricky Craven is a NASCAR Winston Cup winner.
I began racing in 1982. I was 15 years old with the dream of winning a Winston Cup race. And by God, we did it today.
Nice guys can finish first. Big day 2 years ago for Ricky and his guys. Each week, Wally Dallenbach's only job is to take us around the track to give us some special insight into the race. Well, this week, Wally didn't do his job, went off to watch the Busch race. So we found a father-son combination that represents the past, the present, and the future of Winston Cup racing here at Martinsville. You could call it Wallace World.
Well, Steve, you had your first big win last weekend. Let's go out there. I'm going to teach you how to win here at Martinsville now, okay? All right, man, let's go. Let's do it. Steven, I'll tell you what, the key to winning this racetrack, the front end's got to turn good. You got to save the brakes. You got to keep the ability to get the car right on the bottom, drive underneath the car, exit in the corners. Not much passing the straightaways. Right here, enter turn 3. We're going to set this guy up, okay? We got this nose underground. Let's peel underneath this rear bumper, pick the throttle up, and then we're going to drag racing down this front straightaway. Hopefully he'll check up first and outside. We pull her down, and that's what you do. Man, I'll tell you what, this thing turns better than my car. Watch this, I'm going to show you another trick. Going to drive it in deep here and outside. We're going to get it stuck on the outside groove. We're going to pull her down and drive underneath the guy in the bottom. See that? Yep. All right, man, we just took the lead. All right, here we go. The checker flag's out. We're about to win this thing. All right, here we go. What do you think of that, man? The crowd goes wild. That's how you run this place, huh? That's how you run it right here, man.
All right, right, now let's see. Rusty was quickest in happy hour, but the Mountain Dew car was a 10th quicker. How do you do that?
Man, that thing handled good. I told Steven, I said, maybe it's him being sitting right alongside me. It brought me that good luck, but I went on, that thing handled great. I said, we got to find the secrets, run back and tell my guys.
How about your 7th win here at Martinsville today, Rusty?
That'd be great if I could. I tell you, we had a great car in happy hour. We qualified good. I like running these short tracks. Everybody knows, and hopefully me and mine today could be today. Let's hope.
He goes for number 7 here. Last week, Tony Stewart got number 17 of his career.
He's got the fender there this time. Tony Stewart even.
Tony doesn't have that wall of air to lean against. Oh, but Tony's got him, I do believe.
New leader, Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart enters Martinsville on a huge wave of momentum. 4 straight top 5 finishes, including an old school win last week at Lowe's. How about another old school win here at Martinsville? You struggled in the first session yesterday. Are you back in the ballpark now, Smoke?
I told Zippy yesterday that this car something was wrong with it, and he responded in 1 hour and gave me a totally different race car. I mean, same chassis and all, but totally different setup, and it really brought this car to life. So I don't know if we're exactly where we need to be, but we got a lot closer than we were yesterday for sure, and I think our Home Depot Monte Carlo's got a shot if we just keep working on it all day.
Tony Stewart rolls off 16, trying to win back-to-back career wins for only the 4th time in his NASCAR Winston Cup Series career. To Marty.
Matt, the 9-year relationship between Ward Burton and Bill Davis Racing will come to an end after today's race. Ward, realistic that you could sign the divorce papers in victory lane today?
Oh, heck yeah. Guys made some great changes on the camber before qualifying. It got us a good run, and you know, we made some pretty good runs yesterday. We had some issues we had to work with, but the guys been working really hard, and I just like to say I really appreciate all the people's support, particularly from Caterpillar and the Caterpillar customers and fans, and feel like we've had a great relationship over the years, and it's a big crossroads in my life. Gonna make the best of it and excited about it, and look forward to seeing people start running that Zero program.
Yeah, Ward will start driving the Zero car next week at Atlanta. Dave, back to you.
Marty, this is one of Kenny Wallace's best tracks, a pole here and 2 top 5 finishes. What about it? Have you got a win or a top 5 in you today?
Have a lot of high hopes for today. Hopefully to go good. You know, we've ran well in the past, so Stacker 2 Dodge, stay up front all day.
He qualified great outside row 2. Bill?
Thanks, Dave. The first 500-lap Winston Cup race here in 1956 was won from the pole. The last Winston Cup race held here in April was won from the pole. In the 47 years that NASCAR has come here for 2 races a year, how many times has the same guy started on the pole and won both races? Only once. Fred Lorenzen did it in 1964, driving a Dodge. Today, Jeff Gordon tries to do it in 2003. Driving a Chevy. Now, you don't have to look it up because we already did. The countdown is at 0 and the Subway 500 is coming up.
This has been the Discover Card Countdown to Green. Let's go racing.
'48th running of the Subway 500, just moments away. 43 drivers chasing the win, while Matt Kenseth continues to chase the championship. Time to get you upstairs to the 3 guys that will call today's race for you, and since this is a short track, no, that'd be too easy. Here's Alan Bestwick, Wally Dallenbach, and Benny Parsons.
I was expecting some line about a turkey and ham with the big cheese or something. I don't know. Now, this is the shortest track on the circuit, Bill, but it is far from the easiest. In fact, it may be one of the hardest to get a good finish on.
This place is tough because you're in traffic all the time. You're turning, you're braking, and like I said, traffic is like an accordion here. You're worried about hitting the guy in front, then you're worried about getting hit in the back. You got to get the car to roll through the center. You got to be easy on your brakes, but it's the toughest thing may be getting in the pits.
Yeah, because we got 43 cars on a half-mile racetrack. They've got a pit on a size about 1/3 of that, and it does get so tough on pit road. Watch Jeff Gordon. He's making a pit stop. The right side guys are actually on pit lane where the cars go by making the pit stop. Very tight, very narrow, and not a lot of room. We'll see cars making contact on pit road and maybe even with some human beings. It's a tough pit road here at Martinsville.
We've heard a couple drivers already say that they got to keep the front end on their car. Somebody's going to tear the front end off their car on pit road and hurt their chances to win. Of course, we'll follow the race for the championship as well. Matt Kenseth's bid for a good finish here at Martinsville today.
NBC's coverage of the Subway 500 is brought to you by Subway. Fresh-made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh. By the next Ford F-150, built Ford tough. By Singular, the wireless company that fits you best. And by the new Dew, Mountain Dew, the people who brought you Mountain Dew.
Some 90,000 fans here to see 43 drivers for 500 laps at Martinsville Speedway. Let's go trackside for today's opening ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, with our invocation, representing Raceway Ministries, G.H. Vaughn.
Father, we are grateful today for this beautiful day. We graciously accept your presence here on this wonderful occasion to appreciate and to enjoy this race. We pray your blessings upon each driver, upon their families, those who support them, their crews. We thank you for this nation, this opportunity to be here, and for those who guard our freedom every day. Amen.
Singing the national anthem today, she's a favorite and the guest of Classic Country Theater located in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, where she performs as an artist on both the back to the 50s Rock and Roll Show and Classic Country Show. From Greensboro, North Carolina, our national anthem, Miss Lori Beth Hogan.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Land of the free and the home of
David Lambo and Jennifer Huntley.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And so we're ready to go with the Subway 500 in Martinsville. This little racing stadium surrounded by fans, and you can hear the noise. Boy, they are enthusiastic and ready to see some great hard-nosed short track racing.
Because they know they're going to see action. Guaranteed to see action today for 500 miles. Laps, I should say.
64!
Let's talk about the Bud Pole Award. Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR, proud to sponsor the Bud Pole Award, given to the fastest qualifier at each Winston Cup race. Jeff Gordon with his 4th pole of the season and 46th of his Winston Cup career at Martinsville qualifying. Since 1979, Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $8 million as title sponsor of NASCAR's Pole Award program. And now we'll look at the starting lineup for today's Subway 500. Gordon with Ward Burton alongside of the front row. Ward in his final start for Bill Davis Racing. He moves on to the 0 car next week at Atlanta, and Scott Wimmer takes over that 22.
Back in row 2, Junior on the inside, who says he has a very good race car. Kenny Wallace looking to have a great finish at Martinsville.
One of his best tracks here at Martinsville for Kenny. Kevin Harvick on a lot of people's lips this morning in the garage as the man to beat today.
I would agree with those folks.
And Rusty Wallace, how can you argue with his record here at Martinsville? 6 times a Martinsville winner. Sterling Marlin in his 600th NASCAR Winston Cup Series start today. And Jeff Green, the Petty 43, been to victory lane so many times here at Martinsville. Will he get another one for that team today?
Ricky Rudd, his team from nearby Stewart, Virginia, just about 40 miles away. And the Wood Boys' son won yesterday here in the truck race, so looking for good things.
There's your championship leader, Matt Kenseth, along with Kurt Busch, the defending champion of this race, back in row number 7. Last week's winner, Tony Stewart, going to come from row number 8, along with Michael Waltrip. Ken Schrader, top 10 finish here back in April in the season's first race at Martinsville. See if he can have similar success today. And Greg Biffle hoping to make out better today here in Martinsville than he did in the NASCAR Busch Series race in Memphis yesterday when he got taken out in a wreck in the opening laps of the race.
Mark Martin, Kevin LePage back in row 12. Mark usually runs very well at this racetrack.
Two-time winner here. Jimmy Johnson, row 13. Dave Blaney, new crew chief calling the shots there this week. And Bill Elliott.
And you saw Ricky Craven's victory here just a couple of years ago. And Bill, good race car.
Johnny Benson finished second to Kurt Busch 1 year ago in this race. Talked with him this morning. Feels like he's got a very good car today. Has some potential for a good contending finish. Jason Leffler, his final ride in the 0 car. That's the one Ward Burton takes over next week. Todd Bodine in a backup car after a crash. He'll go to the end of the field on the pace laps. And now you see the provisional starters today. We talked with Robbie Gordon earlier.
And his car was not that bad in all the practices. The only time he ran a bad lap was during qualifying.
Steve Park, Derek Cope, and the final starter in the field, Hermie Sadler. Mark Green, Morgan Shepherd unable to qualify. We told you about Todd Bodine in his backup car going to the end of the field. The Winston Victory Lap honoree here, former Winston Cup champion, Darrell Waltrip. 3-time champion, 84 wins, tied for 3rd all-time. DW in Martinsville, very synonymous. He had 11 of those 84 wins here on this tight half-mile track.
Yeah, he tried to figure out where was Darrell the most dominant. Was he here at Martinsville or at Bristol?
Yeah. And the car he's... there you go.
He's got him a checkered flag.
That's a victory lap.
There you go.
The number 11, of course, the number that he had so much success with at Junior Johnson's. Somewhat reminiscent of the 85 Budweiser machine that he won his 3rd and final championship in. So DW, today's honoree in the Winston Victory Lap. Closing in on the start. Let's go to pit road. Marty?
Alan, quick check of the Martinsville numbers for Ryan Newman. His average start, 5.5. His average finish, 28. That's not so good. That's why they tested here 2 weeks ago, worked through several problems they had here in April. The result, Matt Borland says we have the best car we've ever had here. Matt?
Marty, 2 of NASCAR's all-time legendary teams, Petty Enterprises and the Wood Brothers, have combined to win 21 times here at Martinsville. The last time the 43 team won here, they started 21st with John Andretti. Today, Jeff Green and Ricky Rudd start 10th and 12th. Both are very confident about their chances. Green trying for his first career win, Rudd trying for his first with the Wood Brothers. Today, Burns.
Mike Skinner makes the last of his 11 starts for the Army car here today. You'll see Mike next year in the Craftsman Truck Series driving for Toyota. Now, the driver stepping into the 01 for the foreseeable future is making his last start in the 25 car today. Joe Nemechek hands over this steering wheel to Brian Vickers, Busch Series championship leader, who becomes its full-time driver next week at Atlanta. Bill?
The race season is 36 races long. 5 races remain. Any championship contender will tell you the most important race is the next race. But that's truly very true for Matt Kenseth and company. Tiny Martinsville is a big mountain on the way to the championship. For this team, a top 10 finish might be as good as a win. Alan?
Okay, well, thanks. We'll keep an eye on Matt Kenseth today as he comes from 14th starting spot. He finished 22nd in the April race here. 2 more pace laps before they cut him loose. I want you to remember who leads at lap 50 later on today. You could win a trip to New York City and serve as a special correspondent at this December's Winston Cup Award ceremony. It's the NASCAR Big Apple Sweepstakes. And remember lap 50 and who's the leader. You'll need to know that to enter to win.
Interesting what they did to this racetrack last year. They ground the bottom groove. Kind of like taking a cheese grater going across a block of cheese. So they took some grip away from the bottom groove, did not touch the top groove. So actually what we have now is two grooves that work about the same. You can see the light colored section down the corner of the concrete. That has been ground down. Some of the surface taken away. On the outside, it wasn't. So it used to be when you're on the outside, a huge disadvantage. Not so much anymore.
Yeah, it's amazing. I walked across the racetrack this morning. When you're in a race car in this place, you think that you swear this place is flat as a board. And this track is banked in the corners. It's not banked very much, but you would never know it when you're driving that race car. It actually feels like it banks in the opposite direction.
See a beautiful day here in South Central Virginia.
I like that temperature. The concrete 78 degrees, the asphalt at 90 degrees, but the cars will be getting their grip on the concrete at 78 degrees.
And what that means is this is a very difficult racetrack to get a hold of.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Track surface stays cool. It's slippery. There's not the grip in that concrete there is in some of the paved tracks we go on. So this
the whole key is get through the center of the corners here. Actually, there's a lot of brakes used at this racetrack, but if your car handles well and the car rolls through the center, you don't need as much brake.
Well, Jeff Gordon told us you just don't know what's going to happen in a race here. It'll be fun watching to find out. Ward Burton second, side by side for third. Dale Jr. inside of Kenny Wallace.
Kenny's holding tough up there, BP.
He is.
Looks like he may take the spot.
And Junior talked about his car is not that good on the first few laps of a tire change. He expects it to be much better on a long run.
Kevin Harvick creeping in behind them. So that's third, fourth, and fifth. Jimmy Spencer in the sixth position in the light blue 7 car from Harvick's view.
Oh!
And just that little slip on Earnhardt's part was just enough for Kenny Wallace to get in front and make the pass clean.
Now, because of the changes Benny talked about to the bottom lane of this racetrack, you see these guys running up off that bottom. That makes that inside lane so tempting.
Oh, yeah. It's when you see that big gap, that hole, you go, oh, man, it's all mine. But it's also when you're coming off the corner on the low side and you got a car on the outside of you, it's very difficult because you need all that racetrack to keep your momentum. So it's hard to stay underneath that car going down the straightaway when you pull up off the corner side by side.
And see that yellow curb on the bottom of the racetrack when you get down like Kevin Harvick, that 29 car was down there. Sometimes the car on the outside, you hit that curb and it throws you up in that car on the outside. We'll see that before the day's over.
Yeah. That usually starts about a 4-car wreck.
Yeah, exactly.
How about Kevin Harvick, Bill?
Well, strong start for him, but inspection was the tough part for this team this morning. They had too much camber in their car the first time they went through. So they took the car out of line, fixed it, and went back, and the NASCAR officials said it was worse, so they held them till they were the last car through inspection, got them to the grid late, but so far okay.
And that was too much camber in the rear, right, Bill?
You betcha. We saw a lot of that here on Friday, Wally, as well. Guys having a tough time getting through inspection.
And let's just explain what rear camber is and why they'd want to have more.
On the right rear tire, they would lean it in because they go down the corner and all that force applied to that right rear tire will try to roll off the rim. So the more you have it leaned in, the more contact pass you have in complete tire when you get down in the corner.
So that, basically you're getting more grip because of that, and that's what they're trying to gain.
And there is a limit to how much rear camber you're allowed to run by NASCAR, and so that was the issue there with the Harvick car.
Hey, this is a heck of a race right here.
Earnhardt Jr., Kenny Wallace, Kevin Harvick, third, fourth, and fifth. I think Junior's got him now.
Junior and Harvick take the spot.
So Dale Jr. to third, Kevin Harvick to fourth, Kenny Wallace now under fire from the 7 car of Jimmy Spencer. Farther back, championship leader Matt Kenseth in 14th, right where he started. but he's being challenged for that spot by Tony Stewart. Dave?
And that high line that Matt is running is what he's been running from the start. In fact, I asked him this morning, you're starting next to teammate Kurt Busch. Are you going to ask him if you can have the inside line? He said, no, I don't want it. He said, my car works well on the high side. I'm going to stay up there all day. He has not moved down for even one corner of this race so far. Matt?
As Tony Stewart works the inside, trying to make the pass on Matt Kenseth. He told me this morning that in the final practice session on Saturday, he did a lot of experimenting, moving around on the racetrack, trying to see which line would work the best. On about lap 3, he clicked on the radio and told his crew chief, Greg Zipadelli, I really like it up higher. That's what I'm going to try to work, unless I'm going to try to pass somebody, which he just did to the 17.
The thing is, you got to watch what we're watching right here is that you've got Sterling there. Matt wants to go, but Sterling's running the high side too, so it's giving Tony Stewart the advantage on the bottom.
I think they helped this racetrack tremendously with their competition when they ground that bottom lane. Took some of that grip away down there.
Certainly made for more side-by-side racing, which is what all these 90,000 plus fans are here to see. Tony Stewart working on Sterling Marlin. Got to be for 13th place.
And just was beside him coming off of turn 2, but he was on the low side. When he got on the gas, he spun the tires, and that was just enough for the 40 car to clear him.
Tony, the 2000 winner of this Subway 500. Now Ken Schrader up underneath Matt Kenseth to challenge him for a spot. Schrader in the 49. Remember I talked about earlier, he got a top 10 finish here back in the April race. Didn't qualify all that well, started 18th.
43-97, the battle for about the 10th position between Kurt Busch in 97, Jeff Green in 43, Ricky Rudd in 21.
Kurt Busch started 36th and won this race last October.
These cars are slowing down to about 60 miles per hour in the middle of the corner. Top speed around 115 miles per hour to 60, so you can see just how much brake it takes to slow down a 3,400-pound car.
This is Rusty Wallace trying to take a spot from Ryan Newman using the outside.
Practically leaning on each other.
And in practice yesterday, Rusty used that outside lane many laps, trying to get his car, see how his car is going to work on that outside, Bill.
93 races since Rusty's been to victory lane. The team has very high hopes here. The car pretty good since they got here. When Rusty drove Wally's car here yesterday, he was so happy with how that car handled. He asked to see under the hood to see what was in there. He said, I'm going back to my guys and see if we can help the two a little bit. So Wally, you may get a thank you from victory lane.
I didn't have a whole lot to do with the setup.
Yeah. Well, we know that.
He can call Steve Lloyd and thank him, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So
Steve would be the man.
Rusty Wallace to 7th, and Ryan Newman back to 8th. Behind them,
boy, these guys have been at it here since the start.
Stewart in the 20 and Marlin in the 40 for 13th and 14th. And looking back at them from Mike Skinner in the 01.
And they're just, they're dead even through the corners, but Tony cannot get up off the corner because he needs that outside of the racetrack to help him give him the grip. He may get a break here now. He boxes in Sterling behind the 01 car of Mike Skinner.
Running that lower lane, though, doesn't do anything as far as hurting the tires more than running the outside. I mean, we talked about grinding the track in a cheese grater, so people might get the impression that the track is so rough it'd be like a Darlington or something.
Yeah, I think maybe he may use a tad more brake than the guy on the outside, because the car on the outside has a little bit of room to slide, where the car down on the bottom obviously doesn't have much room to slide up the racetrack because you've got somebody on the outside of you.
While all that's going on in the pack, Jeff Gordon continues to lead. 21 of 500 laps complete in the Subway 500 at Martinsville. The Martinsville Speedway. They've been racing here since September 25th, 1949. And today the Subway 500. It's 48th running for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Jeff Gordon has led all of the laps that have been run so far, and now he's into some heavy lap traffic. He's caught the end of the field.
Now 2 laps ago, the 37 car is Derek Cope. He lapped him about, 2 laps ago, and guess what? Cope is somehow back in front of him. Marty, what's going on with the 24?
He's a little bit tight right now, BP, and this is the same article, different newspaper. Same thing that happened here in April. The first 75 laps went green. Jeff Gordon led all of them, put many cars a lap down. And Jeff told me this morning he thought the complexion of this race would be a little bit different because of the new lap down rule. People would fight harder to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, the lucky dog thing is going to be on a lot of people's minds because they're expecting that to keep. We usually have a lot of cautions here. They're expecting that to keep a lot of guys on the lead lap when we get down toward the finish of this thing.
He finally gets by Casey Mears. Here's a battle for second. Junior, 8 car underneath Ward Burton at 22. This battle's about a second and a half behind the leader, Jeff Gordon.
And Kevin Harvick right there.
Harvick's going to have to try to get a little bit closer to Junior if he can keep Ward up on that high lane.
Having company is always fun. We have company. He was out on the racetrack just a little bit ago. He was out on the racetrack yesterday. 3-time NASCAR Winston Cup champion Darrell Waltrip. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. And, you know, riding around there at number 11 for those first couple laps, they were just teasing me, you know?
Yeah.
Man, what a...
So you want to do 500 more? You want to do 500 more laps, huh?
Well, you know, I did 200 yesterday, Ben, and I felt okay. And I got up this morning feeling kind of racy. I thought I could hang in there for a little while anyway.
Ran the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race here yesterday. Finished 7th. Nice job.
Had a 7th here in the spring. Came back, had a 7th again this time. So I like racing here, but it is different and it is harder because of what they've done to the racetrack. And the track is a little slicker than I found it to be in the spring. That bottom lane is so tempting to get down there, but boy, you've got to be some kind of hooked up to use it.
Yeah. Martinsville memories. 11 wins here. Boy, what a great place for you over the years.
I guess 87 would have to be my favorite.
Yeah,
I came out here on Sunday morning. Jessica Lee, my daughter, just been born. Walked over to my car. There was a note in the seat that said, "Win this one for me, Daddy," and a rose. Ran all day long. I had no chance of winning. Not a prayer. Got a late caution. Got 4 tires. Dale and Terry Labonte were racing each other for the win. I'm sitting in 3rd. I give Labonte a little bump going into 3. It shoots him into Dale. I come off turn 4. I win the race. I led all of 100 yards that whole day.
Yeah,
but I won one for Jessica Lee.
Yeah, it was outstanding at the end of that race. I remember it well.
Well, it was because everybody was saying, well, what happened?
Yeah, well, that's not what Earnhardt was saying. he was saying some things not fit for publication there.
Yep, right.
Jeff Gordon still the leader. Earnhardt Jr. now to 2nd. Harvick to 3rd, and Ward Burton has fallen back to a 4th place.
Well, DW, it is nice of the folks in NASCAR to honor Winston for their involvement for the last 33 years.
Benny, you know, they just think about, you know, just like I do, what this sport was like when we were started in the 70s. You know, not very many people, 25 or 30,000. It was a big crowd. The places always looked like they needed repair, no matter where you went, super speedway or short track. Winston really, they stepped up our program big time, took it mainstream, and they've done an incredible job with this sport. And it's a shame to see them go, but as you well know, things change, got to move on.
Jeff Gordon right now wants to move on, but he's trying to get by the other Gordon.
Oh, hang on, Robbie.
Loose in that 31 car, Robbie Gordon.
And that's the way that second turn is, Benny. I mean,
And he is loose in and off.
Weber, what's going on with Robbie Gordon?
It might be more than the car. Robbie found himself with food poisoning last night. Actually was violently sick, had to take 2 liters of fluid this morning. Is feeling weak, but a little bit better. He did see someone in the infield care center before getting into the car this afternoon, but not feeling well at all after food poisoning.
2nd place here, Kevin Harvick.
That car's loosened up. I think I'd be really sick. I'd be looking for another guy to get in that car. What do you think?
As bad as I'd like to be out there, Wally, I'm not getting in that thing.
It's not even tempting, right?
No.
Tell you what, Harvick's on the move here early. Now that he's clear of Junior, it'd be interesting to see if he can make up some of the ground on Jeff Gordon.
And Harvick, the 29 car, is able to use that bottom groove probably as well as any car I've seen yesterday and today.
It only makes sense if everybody's going to be running a lane up off the bottom. If you can get your car to hook the bottom, you got to have some place to pass.
And if you can get those left side tires right on that curve, right up against it, you got a little grip there. There's a little bit of about a foot of unground concrete right there, and you can get some grip, but you got to be right on that curve.
And you get in that grip with the left side.
Left side,
I got you.
Yeah. So, what have you been doing with your time off? I hear you've been putting together a little racing operation.
I'm going to go truck racing next year, and we're working real hard on that. And looking forward to that. We're trying to hire a driver. We've got us a shop. We got Michael Cranifis' old shop over there in Concord. Bobby Kennedy's working hard to get the parts and pieces put together. And I'm just a big believer in the truck series. I think it's fun racing. Reminds me of Saturday night racing like we used to do a long time ago. And I want to be a part of it.
But you are going to run the truck some next year, aren't you?
Just 3 times. Stevie has let me run here twice and up at IRP.
Okay.
Oh, y'all laugh like y'all don't. I guess y'all don't ever have to ask your wife for permission to.
I'm not trying to get into a race car.
Oh,
I'm not going down that road.
Watch this, the 2 Gordons.
He's got to go a long way to hit him.
Trying, yeah. We talked about guys trying extra hard to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think, Robbie was there already, so.
No foul.
I wouldn't give that a foul to Robbie.
Incidental contact.
And he's sick.
And he's sick.
He gets one free one, doesn't he?
Hey, you've had food poisoning before, right? That's a real sick.
Hurts.
Yeah. Not good.
Tony Raines, a 74 car back in 35th. Jeff Gordon trying to get by him. Put him a lap down.
That's the thing. When these things go green like this so long at the start of a race, if your car's not working when the green flag drops, they're going to come and get you and put your lap down quick. So a lot of these guys are hoping for a yellow so they can get in and adjust on these cars a little bit before they get lapped.
Kevin Harvick's coming quick behind him.
See, Jeff Gordon give Tony the slide
Drive you
jump.
up there a little bit.
He said, I need that out. I need that grip on the outside.
How about the Wallace brothers? Kenny in the 23, Rusty in the 2. That's 6th and 7th place. I see that 97 car creeping into the picture also. All right, we just finished lap 50. Need to know Jeff Gordon to enter this year's Big Apple Sweepstakes. You could be a special correspondent at this year's Winston Cup Awards ceremony. Log on to NBCSports.com or NASCAR.com and check out the NASCAR Big Apple Sweepstakes rules and your chance to register every week. You got to know Jeff Gordon today as the leader of lap 50. We got a phone call.
Yeah.
David Hill.
Yeah.
He said, you better save your voice. He's going to need you in a little while.
No, thanks for letting me come up and spend a few minutes with you guys. This is the first time I've had a chance to really hang out with you guys, and y'all do a great job. And I love listening to you every Sunday, and keep up the good work. And thanks for letting me creep up here. I still got my uniform on. I was like Wally. I thought about that Gordon deal there. You know, Robbie, until he saw how bad the car is. I think I'm going to step on back here and slip into my strict clothes and leave.
In a hurry.
Darrell, thanks. Great to see you.
Yeah.
And
we got trouble.
Jimmy Spencer.
Oh!
Caution's out.
Oh, man.
Spencer was 4th at the time. Who's in the smoke and who got bent up?
And Rusty's blocked. He just got passed by about 8 guys because he couldn't go anywhere.
Hey, he's got a right front fender torn up.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Thanks, Darrell. Good to see you.
Thanks, guys.
See you, man.
Good luck, man.
DW?
Thanks, Ben.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Something must be wrong with Jimmy's car. He's got the window net down. He's throwing his gloves.
Wonder if he blew it up when he was,
or something maybe with the rear end, or
floored the gas to try and keep it from keep it spinning.
My guess is something is broken in the drivetrain.
Yeah, it's got to be.
So caution is out for the first time at lap 54. Jimmy Spencer running 4th at the time. Did he try and get under Todd Bodine there?
Looks like he was, and did not want to make contact.
Yes. Backed up.
I guess Rusty got him in the smoke, maybe?
Yeah, I guess he did.
Trying to get on the gas again. He stops.
That's where it's broken there.
Axel Kurt Busch's car. Stop. I mean, you have to literally stop because you can't see anything.
I mean,
obviously.
I mean, folks, that's exactly what you saw is exactly what Kurt Busch saw. Nothing but smoke.
But you know, the nice part about that, though, with the no more racing back to the caution, you can stop.
Yeah.
You don't have to try and go charging through that cloud of smoke to keep your position at the line.
Because that would have been ugly.
And especially those cars trying to get a lap back.
Yeah.
From Jeff Gordon.
And by the way, Johnny Benson is the lucky dog here. He'll be the guy that gets his lap back.
Good for JB.
Yep. So Jimmy Spencer, Rusty Wallace torn up here. We'll see the leaders come to pit road now at the end of lap 55. Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Dale Jr., Ward Burton, Kenny Wallace, the top 5 coming in.
To make it better on pit road and safer, he needed to put about 15 more cars a lap down, but so far we're going to have about 32 cars on this very tight pit road. Matt.
And Tony Stewart's team waiting for him to hit his pit stall. He's going to stop a little short, so he'll have an easier exit around Jason left with the car. A little free in the center in 3 and 4, and a little free on exit. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment as Jeff Gooch Patterson also makes a wedge adjustment, Bill.
Kevin Harvick wants more forward bite, so it's a slight track bar adjustment. 4 tires and fuel. He's on his way, Marty.
Jeff Gordon going for the season sweep at Martinsville. Bill, a little bit loose off the corner. He radioed 5 laps ago. Down a half pound, both rear tires for more forward bite, and he wins the race off by a bunch, Dave.
Pretty pit stop for Matt Kenseth. The car was loose in, tight in the middle, loose off. They lowered the air pressure on the left sides, lowered the track bar. A nice thing was that the car in front of him was a lap down, did not pit. Therefore, he had a nice, smooth exit.
So Jeff Gordon leads on and off pit road. He's out in front, just past 55 laps in the Subway 500 at Martinsville on NBC. NBC Sports in Martinsville, Virginia. With NASCAR racing, the Subway 500 under its first caution after Jimmy Spencer spun in turn 4 and Rusty Wallace piled in.
And you see the damage to the right front fender. There you see the 2 car before damage, said damage. And there's Spencer, and Rusty just don't know what to do.
Yeah, and there's nowhere to go. And he loses 7 spots, at least 7 spots here, I think, because he can't go anywhere. But he's got, I don't know how much that fender damage is really going to hurt him. What do you think here? I mean...
Now Dale Jarrett, penalty for...
See the wrench in the right? Right there. Whoa. Too quick for me, guys.
Can't take the equipment out of your pit box.
That's jerked it out, but he will have to start at the rear of the field.
And also Jeff Burton will have to go to the rear of the field. There's a limit to the number of pit boxes you can drive through getting in or out of your pits. He drove through too many.
Wow, look at that start Gordon got. Oh, man. He cleared that cars a lap down, which is really important.
Jeff Gordon leads, Dale Earnhardt Jr. second, Kevin Harvick third, Sterling Marlin, right side tires only on his pit stop, up to 4th, followed by Ward Burton in 5th, then Kenny Wallace, Kurt Busch, Tony Stewart, Ricky Rudd, and Ryan Newman. Jimmy Spencer behind the wall. Dave?
All right, Alan, this may go in the stranger than fiction category. Jimmy, what broke on your car?
You ain't never gonna believe it. I went down in the corner and I turned on it to make the corner and it wouldn't turn. So I just locked the brakes down to try to not hit the 54 car, and then I feel bad for Rusty that the steering box broke turning back to the left. It wouldn't turn. Weird. I've had no damn luck once again.
And apparently no one else has on the track either, Alan.
Yeah. Remember Sterling Marlin and that right side only tire change?
Didn't work too good.
He and Bobby Labonte and Todd Bodine and a few others all got sandwiched in. And I think Bobby got the worst of it.
I think maybe Jeff Green might have gotten the poor shape of it because he spun out back in 3 and 4. Here we see
Sterling just couldn't go.
Contact between him and the 22 car, Ward Burton, and there they just stack up almost exactly like Spencer. And there we see Raines and Kurt Busch and Todd Bodine all aim for the same spot at the same time. And
the traffic jam.
Yeah.
Bobby Labonte gets punched by Derek Cope's car.
And watch Sterling here. He just can't get going here. That may be the tire deal.
And that's what you're talking about. And the 43 car is going to come in here in the very back spinning.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't get much damage because he spun out of the way.
And that's that accordion thing we're talking about.
Exactly.
Now watch the hole close in front of Kurt Busch here when he heads for the bottom. I think he just got nicked in the right side. This is Todd Bodine.
Now that's a hole closing right there.
Under caution for the second time in the Subway 500 at Martinsville. Back to Martinsville and the restart in the Subway 500. Robbie Gordon was the lucky dog. He's back on the lead lap now in 34th position. And it's Jeff Gordon leading the field back up to speed.
Well, this time Junior, the 8 car, gets a terrific restart. Stays right on the back bumper of the 24 car. Don't you know Harvick and that 29 car is saying, doggone it, it took me 30 laps to get by that 8. Yeah. And I lose that spot in the pits.
Yeah. Those boys in the pits are so important, especially for a driver, because of that. He works so hard to get around a guy. You don't want to give it back up when you come down pit lane.
Showing the black flag to Tony Raines. He was supposed to restart at the tail end of the longest line, I believe for pitting too soon. Came in with the lead lap cars because he got damaged in that wreck and didn't go to the back of the line for the restart. So now he's going to come in for a green flag, stop and go penalty.
Tim better off to go to the back of the line.
Kyle Petty, 45, first car 1 lap down. Hoping to stay there and get a lucky dog pass. How about Rusty Wallace, Bill?
Well, made 2 stops under the previous caution and just stopped again under this caution. They had a problem, Alan. They wanted to change 4 tires, but because the field is so strung out under caution and the pace car speed is what it is, they didn't have time to come in and get lefts. They were only able to take rights and cut away the right front. So on that caution, they came in and got left, made a chassis adjustment, and sent him back out. Very disappointed. Thought they really had a shot at breaking that 93 race winless streak today.
And they probably, the speed on pit road is 30 miles per hour. And about a per second spot as Harvick goes by Junior. 30 miles per hour. Rusty got busted twice at Charlotte last week for speeding.
Yeah.
So this week, trust me, he will not be speeding.
He'll be playing it fairly close to the vest.
And that's why that they could not take that chance.
Other pit stops under that last yellow. Sterling Marlin, Jeff Green, Derek Cope, Bobby Labonte, along with Rusty Wallace. Guys that basically got nicked up in the jam there off turn 4.
When I see Rusty Wallace's car, Wally, I'm concerned about one thing, his brakes on that right front. It looks like that the air dam might have been damaged, that scoops air and goes in and cools that right front brake on the tube.
Watching Will Burton, a little stalking on Dale Jr. for that 3rd position. Remember that Ward was involved with Sterling Marlin in beginning that last caution. He said this on his team radio right afterwards.
I can't just stop in the middle of the corner. Certainly didn't mean to do it. 10-4, buddy. Message already delivered.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious, really, from the replay that Sterling just couldn't get the car going. And with everybody else on 4 fresh tires, they were going.
For the record, Sterling doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that.
Of course that. And you see, message delivered, they do that through the spotters up on the roof.
How about a Stacker 2 NASCAR Winston Cup track fact as we look at Kenny Wallace running 5th place in the Stacker 2 car. This racetrack began its existence as a dirt track, then it was paved. Only 2 drivers, one on both dirt and pavement, Lee Petty and Jim Paschal.
Uh-oh, we got Ryan Newman going around in turn 2.
Loop-de-loop. Caution flags out.
Looks like he got a little help from somebody.
And he's trying to get going and rejoin because with the no racing back to the yellow rule, if you spin, is that left rear flat?
Looks to me like his left rear tire is flat.
With the no racing back to the yellow rule, if you spin, where you get back going again is where you fall into line. In his case, there was so much traffic coming by.
I don't know if it's flat or not. I think it's just these guys run such low pressures. Here, I think 30 car gets into him right here. Yeah. Steve Park got to the back of him.
And the lucky dog on this one, Kyle Petty, will get back on the lead lap. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
NBC's coverage of the Subway 500 is brought to you by Pontiac, fuel for the soul. By NASCAR Thunder 2004 from EA Sports. Races end, rivalries don't. By Napa Auto Parts. Napa, get the good stuff. And by Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
One more lap before we go back under green in the Subway 500. Yesterday's NASCAR Busch Series race at Memphis. Great finish, coming to 2 to go. Johnny Sauter with a little wiggle, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. helping him out of his way.
Yeah.
And Bobby Hamilton Jr. went on to score his 3rd win of the NASCAR Busch Series season. Championship really took a twist, too. There's Hamilton Jr. winning. And we check our top 5 finishers from Share the victory with the crowd and the spotter. Our NASCAR Busch Series update. David Green had some engine trouble, so look at the championship. 4 races to go, 44 points first to 5th.
That is outstanding.
Atlanta next Saturday for the NASCAR Busch Series. We'll have it on TNT.
All right, now. Harvick is in front of the 8. Got a sight set on the 24. Jeff really hasn't had anybody knocking on that rear bumper all day, so we'll see if Harvick can apply the pressure.
Just might change with that 29 car back there, Wally.
Not been a very good racetrack for Kevin Harvick thus far in his NASCAR Winston Cup career. Best finish of 16th. But he's running second now and dogging leader Jeff Gordon.
I'd say he's dogging him. Looks like that last 2 laps anyway. Harvick can run lower. Jeff's up the racetrack a little bit, but Jeff is getting that bite off the corner. Just enough to stay ahead, pull ahead.
Jimmy Spencer coming back on track after repairs to the steering box on his car. 36 laps down to the race leader in 43rd position.
Here's on board now. Look how flat these corners look. It looks like it's flat as a board. Yes. But there is banking there. And it feels like it's flat as a board from these race cars. When you go in here, you just slide over like Kevin Harvick's doing. That banking, it doesn't seem like it helps you in the corner.
What is the banking, 9 degrees here?
12.
12 degrees?
Yep. Race for 3rd place. Ward Burton working on Dale Jr. 22 and 8. Not quite able to squeeze around it. Ward's former winner here won this race 2001. Check that. Best finish here 3rd in 2001. I got to read my own writing.
Yeah, you're sloppy.
I am. Bill, can you help me out here?
Can't help you out reading your own writing, but I'll help you out on the 22. Scott Wimmer came here and tested that car with Frank Stoddard. They were very pleased with not only the car, but how Wimmer drove. Now, as we talked about on the Discover Card Countdown to Green, this is Ward's last ride for Bill Davis Racing. The team this morning confident that they could finish their marriage, so to speak, with a win. And you heard Ward talk about that earlier today. So far, so good.
It looks like that the test that Scott Wimmer did in the 22 car has helped Ward Burton because he is very competitive today in that 22 car.
Well, it's helped the whole team because Kenny Wallace is running well also in the team car to that 22. He's up in 5th. Now, what about Ryan Newman? Bill, you got an update on him?
Yeah, they stopped 3 times as he bangs with the 0 car. Changed the right side tires. They continue to bang back and forth. Then they had to come back in and change the lefts. They brought him in for a 3rd time, tried to put a big tape bandage on the left rear of that car, and you can see it just flopping around there in the wind. 0 looks underneath. So far, nothing much for Brian, but his car was very, very tight before he got spun a few laps ago.
Ryan Newman, 8-time winner so far this season, but in 3 previous Winston Cup tries at Martinsville, his finishes have been 41st, 15th, and 38th.
And we talk about track position all the time and just how crucial it is. There's the 40 car, Sterling Marlin. He was running about 3rd or 4th. Spun, had to go to the rear of the field. The 12 car, got a bump, had to go to the rear of the field. Now those guys are back battling for 30th and 31st.
And it's hard to go anywhere.
It's almost impossible to go anyplace.
And that's just when, you see Ryan here, he's searching. Well, Sterling's working here. I have to try down here. Gonna take a look underneath, get in there hard, try to outbrake him, get beside him now. If he can drive off the corner, but see, that's the problem. Right there, you spin your tires when you're low. And that outside car will just get about a half a car length on you getting into the next corner. You do that 5 or 6 laps, then you get impatient. Then you start leaning on him. The guy down on the bottom will start driving the guy up on the high side, up the racetrack a little bit.
And now they're trying to drive Ryan in behind the 37 car. Gary Cope was a little bit slower than this group of cars, and yeah, they picked him.
Yeah, and Ryan's going to have to back off, get in line, start all over again.
Sterling Marlin in 30th, Ryan Newman in 31st. So they also have to worry about the leader coming up behind them quickly to put them a lap down. This is a race for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Kenny Wallace, 23, Tony Stewart, 20, and on board Kurt Busch.
And Kurt Busch being able to drive through that small hole and accept whatever damage that he had has helped him. There he is, still with track position in 7th spot. Matt, how's Tony doing?
Well, he is making progress as he tells crew chief Greg Zimbinelli about their race car, knocking on the door of the top 5, trying to work on Kenny Wallace. The car, remember earlier, was 2 free in the center and 2 free on exit. They have held the exit, they have hurt the center, but he feels like it's going to come back to him, Marty.
Kenny Wallace has been having an outstanding day, Matt. Very quiet on the radio. They say the car is a little bit loose right now. Kenny very happy with it, though. Very quiet on the radio, very confident. Same car he finished 12th with here in April.
And that 12th place finish, the second best finish of the season for that team. It's really been a struggle, and they're hoping for a couple of good runs before they bring the curtain down on 2003 for Kenny Wallace.
Right along with Kirk Busch. See Kenny Wallace using the real high line, about the highest line you can use for any grip here.
There's another car, that 97 of Kurt Busch, that needs a good run. The last month or so has been a struggle for he and Jimmy Finnegan, that Roush car.
Failed to finish 3 of the last 4 races, BP.
Yep, been ugly.
I'd say that is a struggle in capital letters. So that's Kurt there, slogging around in 7th place, trying to take 6th from Tony Stewart. How about Rusty Wallace? Rusty's back in 18th place, Bill.
Yeah, qualified and started 7th, then fell back after that incident on the track. Spent a lot of time on pit road. You hear about how aerodynamics have to be perfect and the car has to be perfect. You can't win ugly. Well, listen to this.
We're going to have to do some creative things to get back to the front here, so we may have to stay out a time or 2, or we may have to take 2 tires or something just to get some track position.
I don't think that the front end being tore off has hurt the speed at all. It's handling good, turning good, and I was worried about that. I believe we'll be okay.
And you'll be just fine. Your lap times are just as good now when you get a little open track as you were before.
And the last communication to Rusty Wallace, just take care of that car. We might be okay.
Bill, have you had any conversations about the brakes and the fact that the brake ducts were destroyed in that crash?
Bill Wilburn saw that when the car came on pit road. He's Rusty's crew chief. He said, just make sure we can get some air to him, trouble on the track.
Dale Jarrett going around in turn 2.
Oh, and he gets lapped by the leader before he get the car going again.
Now, does that make him the lucky dog?
If he is the first car not on the lead lap when the caution comes out, that's a good question. We'll let them make the call on that.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had that happen.
No.
They're calling the 38 as being the first car 1 lap down.
I guess maybe if you caused the yellow.
Well, they're the 38's in front of 88. He was able to get by.
Okay.
Let's see. Contact there.
Yeah.
Derek Cope in the 37.
Like I said, these folks come here because they're guaranteed to see action.
And we're going to have some action on pit road as the leader heads in. First 7, 8. Looks like everybody on the lead lap so far. Going to come in for a stop here at lap 107. All right, Dave, you're first.
Matt Kenseth said we're definitely better on this run once the tire pressures came up. Therefore, 4 tires and no changes to the chassis on the 17 car. Matt?
Tony Stewart hits his pit box, enters pit road in the 7th position. Still needs a little more help, though, on the forward bite, but the center has come around, Bill. Air pressure adjustment for Tony.
Kevin Harvick can't get off the turns the way he wants. They're going to make a front tire air pressure adjustment, 4 tires and fuel. Marty.
Jeff Gordon's led every lap, and he wins the race off pit road by a 2-tire stop, Bill. So the car's really good. I need a little bit more drive off, but I'm afraid to make big changes, so let's not do anything to it now.
Got some guys did not pit under the caution. Got some guys took 2 tires. We'll reset it all for you when we come back to the Subway 500. Hey, we agree.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Love you too. Mean it.
Those aren't your kids, are they?
No.
Oh, okay.
Don't think so.
Just checking. Craftsman Truck Series update ran here yesterday at Martinsville. What a great day for the Wood family. Based in Stuart, Virginia, about 40 miles from here, John Wood with a win at their home track, and the championship is tight with 2 races remaining in the season.
Another outstanding championship battle.
Yep.
Now we're going to going to have a championship battle here in just a second for the lead of this race. Cars did not stop. Cars changed 2 tires.
Yeah.
Man.
All right, Bonnie, on the point. Here we go with the list. Cars that did not pit. Terry Labonte, Bill Elliott, Jeff Burton, Sterling Marlin, Jason Leffler. Those are the first 5 in the running order. Guys that got 2 tires include Ken Schrader, Kurt Busch, Bobby Labonte, Brian Newman, Rusty Wallace, and Greg Biffle. Scattered throughout the top 17 or 18.
Didn't Jeff Gordon just change too?
Jeff Gordon was first off pit road. Did not catch that report for pit road. We'll follow up there, VP. 2 tires on 24, okay. I didn't write him down. I will now.
Ooh, looky here. Casey Mears, that 41 car, trying to get up and get in front of the leader. He don't want to be a lucky dog.
Yeah.
He wants to be faster than the leader.
He did it.
Boy, Casey. Now, meanwhile, Bill Elliott, the 9 car, is going to battle for the lead.
So Casey Mears now last on the lead lap in 36th place.
Dale Jarrett is the first car a lap down.
Hoping for a lucky dog pass.
For a lucky dog.
More on today's race and NASCAR at NBCSports.com. If you love BP like those folks did, you can email them a question on NASCAR. Check out analysis and opinions on the sport from Benny and myself. NBCSports.com. One of the things we've been talking about, should they change the system used to determine the NASCAR Winston Cup champion?
How about this Kurt Busch trying to get alongside Jeff Gordon, trying to take the spot away? There's Tony Ray.
74 there.
And he's going to get under the 74, I think. Oh, no, but 74 pushed Jeff Gordon up out of the way. Kurt Busch goes by. Junior goes by.
And Kevin Harvick tucked in there now.
Oh, trouble!
Junior ran right all over the 97 car.
Come on, come on.
And that's being run over.
Yes.
What was that you said about action?
Look at the right side of that car on the 97 car. Kurt Busch, left side's clean, but wait till we get a shot of the right side.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Ooh, and look at that opening there right by the exhaust pipe.
I'm surprised that didn't hurt Junior's car.
I'm sure it did.
Let's take a look, see what happened. Did he hit the curb? No, he just kind of slid up the racetrack in the curb.
Dale Jr.'s view.
Down there.
Kurt's trying to get under the 74 about the same time that Junior tried to get under Kurt.
Where did the right side damage come from? Well, that must have been from the earlier deal over there in turn.
Yeah, when the car stalled down there, spun and stalled, and he tried to drive through there, and actually did drive through there.
Yep. Junior's got a little damage on the right front, but nothing too severe. Bill, what are they saying about the 97 car?
Kurt hasn't said a thing, only now there's trouble.
Kyle Petty. Caution's out. Kyle running in 30th place on the lead lap. He's going to stay on the lead lap, gets it going again.
And Casey Mears, a 41 car, stays in front of the leader, Terry Labonte.
And the lucky dog will be Dale Jarrett. We said that lucky dog thing here at Martinsville was going to have a lot of cars on the lead lap. What's this, the 5th caution flag?
And that's not going to be good for all those cars trying to make pit speed. It stops.
Happened to Kyle Petty. This is from Robbie Gordon's car.
Uh-oh.
I got a feeling.
Yeah. I knew what was coming, didn't you, Wally?
Yeah. Whenever you get on board the car behind the car that crashed, you pretty much know what's coming.
Just about a quarter way through the Subway 500. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Under caution at the half-mile Martinsville Speedway, 126 laps of the Subway 500 are complete. Benny says people come here to see the action. Well, there's been plenty of action. This is a tire off the car of the 43 machine driven by Jeff Green. See this orange color here? That orange belongs to the 31 car. Apparently the 31 made contact not only with the 45, but also with the 43. So while they're out there under caution, Jeff Green says, leave our guys alone, Robbie. We'll see if the message was delivered or not. Not very happy with Robbie Gordon out there.
Yeah, he's also telling he's not very happy with him.
What's up with that? It's basically the...
Exactly. What's up with that, Robbie?
And the 31 car has also been issued a message from NASCAR Race Control that they would like for him not to have any more contact with other cars through the rest of the day.
Oh, that's easy here at Martinsville.
Oh, yeah.
It could perhaps be a visit to the penalty box later in the day. How about a Singular Wireless Race Talk poll? Talking about the action in the 90,000 plus here. What type of track is your favorite? You like the short tracks? You like the speedways like Charlotte, Kansas, and so on? Or the Daytona, Talladega super speedway races? What do you think?
Okay. A, Bristol, Martinsville. B, Charlotte, Kansas, Chicago. C, Daytona, Talladega.
This is what, the third or fourth pit stop under this caution for Sterling Marlin, Bill?
Yeah, they've been in here several times. Now the hood goes up. Overheating problem for the 40. The water light's on, so they've been here to try and work on it. Sterling back on pit road with the hood up, and the guys go to work. But it's an overheating problem on the 40.
It's like a leak of some kind. They've got a hose trying to put water in it, but exactly, Lee McCall said, what is it?
Must have a hole. Maybe he's got a hole in it.
Could have a hole in the radiator or something.
Radiator, the hose or something, because it's not really hot enough to be having overheating problems here today.
Pouring out of it right there. The water pouring out right there.
Yeah. Well, that's not good. They will be going behind the wall, I would assume.
You would be correct, sir.
Thank you.
When they slam the hood down and do not put the hood bins in, not a good sign.
They're not going far. It's not a good way to go back out on the track.
No.
Green flag, Terry Labonte is the leader in the restart. Got his track position by not stopping under the prior caution, and the other leaders did. Bill Elliott second, Jeff Burton third, Kurt Busch fourth, Dale Jr. fifth. The challenge for sixth behind him. Jeff Gordon has jumped to the inside of Kevin Harvick.
Problem is, Jeff's got a slower car in front of him, the 02 car, so he may get boxed in right here.
That's Hermie Sadler in the 02.
He's trying to go. Jeff wants to make him a hole. He wants to make a hole, but can he?
Oh, he can.
He
He's going to make a lot of people angry if he does.
And he falls back in.
He decided a little bit too early to be doing that.
Tony Stewart trying to follow through that same lane,
yeah. He's going to find the same trouble once he gets up there a little bit further.
Dale Jr. inside of Kurt Busch. Ready for fourth place. But the lane is blocked.
Oh, Junior just drove in that corner, drove on the inside. What a terrific corner he made there.
Now he's going to squeeze back up in front of Kurt Busch.
He tried, but no.
Okay.
Don't do it.
So I'll try and get in front of Jeff Burton and see if I can find a lane there. Lap car ahead is Tony Raines in the 74, but now he's moved up into the outside lane. So that bottom side is free now for Junior. And this is like third place.
Looks like he's getting decent bite off that bottom.
I can't believe how well he drives in the corner. I know he's got to be using a lot of brakes, but
Tony Stewart almost slid up into Kevin Harvick there.
And Stewart's been able to get by Jeff Gordon in that 24 car, and so has Harvick.
I hear him on the road limiter there.
Kevin Harvick in sixth. Tony Stewart seventh. Ward Burton eighth. Jeff Gordon trying to take that back from him.
And here's Junior trying to get by Bill Elliott for second position. Elliott slipped coming off turn 2 the last time. Could not get off the corner. Let Junior get up alongside, and here he goes.
But see, now the two lap cars have moved up to run the higher lane. Tony Raines in the 74 and Steve Park in the 30 are using the higher lane now. So it's Bill Elliott that's blocked in.
Now Kurt Busch is going to try to follow Junior. Doing a pretty good job at battle for third.
Trouble, turn 4, Rusty Wallace, Jamie McMurray, Jimmy Johnson.
Did you stop? You stopped, didn't you?
Yeah, he stopped.
Yeah,
okay.
I stopped.
He ran out.
He ran out of cars?
Yeah.
Good.
Sixth caution flag.
Looks like the 48 got away pretty clean.
Yeah, I think he got
Jimmy
bumped.
Johnson, his car looks pretty decent.
I think Jimmy just got bumped afterwards.
See that accordion maybe?
Okay, we got the front end, we got the back end. Here we go.
This is going down the backstretch. Mark Martin's going to be right behind Rusty Wallace in 6th. And all right, what's happening?
It's not going to work out.
Looked like Rusty got a little bit loose getting in, and then Mark finished him off.
See, McMurray got pinched by Hermie Sadler and Jimmy Johnson.
Jamie was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Todd Bodine's view. Brakes.
Oh, Todd's been having a lot of these views today.
He's going to get done with this day and say, man, I've worked hard today. Ooh, look at this.
Yeah.
Kevin Harvick, Jeff Gordon.
Well, it looks like, is that coming back to the caution, or that's earlier, before the caution?
Okay, little crease in the back bumper there on the 29. That'll make things interesting. Bill Elliott, the only leader to pit under this caution, so let's take a break. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Still under caution here at the Martinsville Speedway. Back in the garage area, they continue to work on the 40 car of Sterling Marlin. Obviously making a radiator change back here. That's a problem, leaking some water, but they've got some other damage to repair. Sterling still sits in the car, dropped the window net, the visor's up, talking to his crew. Obviously very disappointed. Lean in here for just a second. Sterling, a tough 100 laps for you out there.
Yeah, it has been. We had a good car early. We gained on a bunch of guys, gained on the leaders, and put on 2 tires on that first stop, and gave Ward all kind of room, and he run the back off his furnace round. And got against Benson, he checked up, went off turn 2, and barely hit him and knocked a piece of ductwork in the radiator. So it's been a good day.
Not having a good day here at Martinsville. The 40's still in the garage.
Knocked a piece of ductwork into the radiator. Now, this incident a moment ago, watch Matt Kenseth, your championship leader, right behind it. Managed to get through all the mayhem. And we're back under green.
Well, Labonte has been out there for a long time on those tires. I can't believe he didn't stop that time.
They talked in the garage area over the weekend that it seemed like that the tires ran a good speed for a long time, don't they, Dave?
Yeah, Terry Labonte has only pitted one time. He pitted on lap 55, no changes to the car. It handled so good in traffic. I asked Jim Long, how's it handle out front? He said, even better. Terry's never won here, but he's finished second 3 times. This would be a nice trophy.
So Terry continuing to be out in front. Guys that stopped under this caution, I mentioned Bill Elliott came in. Matt Kenseth also stopped. Mike Skinner, Casey Mears, Jimmy Johnson, Rusty Wallace, and Jamie McMurray.
My guess is that Matt Kenseth in the 17 car tried to stop to avoid that accident and stopped so suddenly that he put some flat spots on those tires, because you don't have to slide these tires very much to put them flat spot on them.
One car might have a left rear flat.
It's like both left side tires are flat.
John Andretti creeping down onto pit road. You can see the left rear is down, and he's going to stop back there in the turn 3 end of that pit lane. For the race lead, Dale Jr. is all over Terry Labonte. Let's see how long it takes him to cut and go. Well, how about right now?
Yeah, not too long.
Well, I tell you, Junior was bragging about his car, and he has every right to, because that 8 car is terrific today.
Junior stopped at lap 107. Terry Labonte stopped at lap 55, so
they got a lot of track position
difference between their tires.
Working for him.
And Kurt Busch now working on Terry for second. So the age on the tires starting to show up. Now, this was Jamie McMurray's pit stop a minute ago. Watch when he tries to leave. They got the air hose tangled in the car.
Oh, that's
that
scary.
Is removing equipment from the pit box, Matt.
And Alan Betty speculated about the flat spotting of the tires. He cut down a left front when he got mixed up in that accident.
You're talking about Matt Kenseth there.
Jamie McMurray.
McMurray, oh, okay. Dave can tell us about Matt. I got it square.
Yeah, that's okay. On the 17 car, actually, Benny, he didn't mention flat spotting the tires, but what he did talk about was, boy, how many laps we've got on our tires. We better make a pit stop. He didn't realize he didn't have that many laps on the tires. So after they did that, Robbie Reiser calmed him down in the car. He said, that's all right. I've got an idea. We'll see what the idea is as time goes on here.
An idea.
Yeah.
That's got to be scary.
I'll bet that has to do with staying out on another caution. Check out race for 7th and 8th. Ward Burton, 22. Jeff Gordon, 24.
Gordon has fallen back another position. Jeff Gordon goes by, and Jeff getting a lot of heat right now from Kenny Wallace and Kenny Schrader.
It's so difficult to pass here. I mean, it's just really, really hard. You really gotta baby the throttle, because it's so easy to jump on the throttle here. And if you do, you're just going to spin your tires.
Now here's Kevin Harvick working on Terry Labonte for 3rd place. Bill?
Well, Kevin Harvick out there going around the 5, having a good run here, but earlier some on-track traffic he was involved with, and this was the radio conversation between Kevin and crew.
I didn't have anywhere to go, and the 24 is just jacking me out, so I had to do something about it.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. He tried to jack the 20 up, but he did the same thing you did.
Wind up with no hood if he's not careful.
10-4.
So that's Kevin Harvick getting a little bit of what he'd been given the last couple of weeks, don't you think?
Well, Kevin Harvick is getting himself some track position right now as he continues to try and close in on the top 2 as he runs in 3rd. There's Junior, the leader, Kurt Busch 2nd, now Harvick 3rd, Terry Labonte 4th, Tony Stewart is 5th. This is the race for 7th. Jeff Gordon, Ward Burton.
Jeff Gordon surrounded by Burton brothers. Jeff Burton, the 99 car in front of him, Ward right beside of him, 22.
Which lane in front of you is going to go. Open up. Is Tony Raines going to go, or is Jeff Burton going to go?
Well, right now it's Tony Raines.
Yeah, those guys move to the high line, which opens the low line up for Jeff, but hard getting that traction down there. A little bit of an advantage there.
Oh, hornet's nest going on here.
Oh, Jeff trying to move up the racetrack, put those right sides in that smooth part of the concrete to get some grip.
And also, you're trying to run the guy up the racetrack a little bit, so he'll hesitate just that little bit so you can turn the wheel cut and clear him when you get off the corner.
We heard from Kevin Harvick a minute ago. Marty's been monitoring Jeff Gordon for us. What do you got, Marty?
He's got his hands full out there. The car tight for Jeff Gordon right now. And the odd thing is it acts differently in 1 and 2 than it does in 3 and 4.
Oh, it's so weird. I mean, my car will not work on the outside down here in 3 and 4. It loves the bottom down there, but it sucked on the outside. What's it do out there? Is there anything we can do to help you with it? It just pushes really bad. I don't know if there's anything you can do.
Speaking of pushing, he just got pushed by the one car pretty good.
Now remember, John Andretti had the flat tire, so he's got fresher tires. Yes. He was on pit road under the green. Unfortunately for him, he's 3 laps down in 39th place.
And really, you're better off in the position that Jeff's in. Just let him go.
Yeah. But that does tell us that new tires can make a car a little bit faster, can make you run faster.
So Andretti then working to try and get close to the front of the pack and see if he can get one of those couple laps he's lost down. It's 2 laps down that he is in 39th place. Look at this behind him. Ward Burton, Ken Schrader, Kenny Wallace, Ricky Rudd, Ryan Newman, all racing for a spot.
The last time by off turn 2, Kurt Busch, 97, took a look under the 8 car. Did not quite make that pass.
Gets hard on the brakes. Hear how he picks that gas up? Easy, easy.
Dale Jr. trying to hold off Kurt Busch. Marty?
Kind of has the same thing going on Jeff Gordon has going on. He's very good off turn 4. He said he can't get off turn 2 as well as he would like. Wally, what we're seeing is a lot of drivers not driving the top, not driving the bottom, but in the middle, trying to get some left sides in on the stuff that's grooved in, right sides up on the smooth pavement. That's where it seems like the grip is. That's where the 8 car is working best as Kurt Busch tries to track him down.
John Andretti, flat left rear tire again.
Wow. I wonder if he's got something like a brake duct or something rubbing that tire.
I would guess that would be exactly what the deal is. Dave?
Yeah, that's what they're looking at. They said, look in the left side this time. Make sure there's nothing rubbing. They think something is.
Yeah, I bet there is. Yeah. He runs so many hoses and brake ducts on these cars because this place is so hard on brakes that sometimes you get them a little bit too close to the tire, and the tire will rub on that, and it'll just slice it.
And he was running the inside lane, so any contact with cars would have been on the right side.
Yeah.
So John Andretti with troubles in the Subway 500. Dale Earnhardt Jr. No troubles right now, except maybe Kurt Busch kind of pushing him for the race lead.
NBC's coverage of the Subway 500 is brought to you by Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. By Little Debbie single-serve snack cakes, perfect when you're on the go. Unwrap a smile today. By Dodge, you can take life as it comes, so you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. And by TGI Fridays. Coming now for TGI Fridays double glazed baby back ribs. Glazed twice for a one-of-a-kind taste. Only at Fridays.
23 looks like he's got a left front.
Up in turn 3, Kenny Wallace off the pace. Caution flag is out.
Right front, yeah. Debris on the backstretch.
Oh, I see why he's made some hard contact with a wall because of the flat right front tire.
Had a lot of trouble here in these last couple of seconds. Kenny Wallace running well and had that problem that slowed him. Johnny Benson just took his car behind the wall.
Now we see that
there's some contact between players.
That might be what happened to the right front tire on the 23 car.
Yep, 23 car gets a little bit loose.
Goes up.
Ooh, the two teammates.
Oh, man.
A lot of contact.
Both running in the top 10.
Bill Davis has got to be happy. No, I'm only kidding, folks.
Yeah.
Kenny Wallace got a little bit loose there, and when he corrected it, Ward Burton was already there.
Now, Jamie McMurray is being waved past the pace car right now. Under the last caution, we saw that problem he had on his pit, but the penalty that was assessed to him was the wrong one. It was too stiff for the infraction. He should have just started at the end of the line instead of being held for a time penalty. The time penalty caused him to go a lap down, so because NASCAR says we made a mistake on that, they're putting him back on the lead lap to give back what they took from him by error.
Well, that's good. That's
fair. So they wanted to do that before they opened pit road, so McMurray could come in and pit with the lead lap cars like he should be able to.
Right.
And that's debris from Kenny Wallace's car that he's been shedding down the back straightaway. And now Kenny on pit road.
And pit road is still not open.
Right. Well, Kenny hit that wall pretty hard. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of bent suspension pieces on the right front of that car.
Yep. And Warden didn't do his any good.
Bet we see Terry Labonte pit here.
I would think. Tires might be great, but he's probably getting low on fuel.
Looks like they're going to keep pit road closed another lap because they want to get that debris picked up off the back straightaway. That's where the cars exit the pit lane. They don't want people running over that just after they make a pit stop. So let's take a break. From Martinsville, it's the Subway 500. NBC Sports in Martinsville, Virginia with NASCAR's Subway 500 under the caution flag after teammates Kenny Wallace and Ward Burton tangled. It's the 7th yellow of this race. Leaders have all just come on to pit road for stops. Most of the leaders. A couple of guys have stayed out. Rusty Wallace, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Green did not pit. And Kevin Harvick is the first off the pit lane.
Of the cars that did come down pit road.
Had a lot of things happening on pit road under these stops. Watch this. This is Tony Stewart.
We talked about just how tight it is. Oh, man. Stewart is trying to leave his pit as Mike Skinner and the Army car is coming in. How much damage did it do the 20 car?
I don't think it did anything really. Be big. We'll look at it here. I think it slid right underneath the back bumper of the 01 car of Mike Skinner. Couldn't really see much there, but now if he got into that fuel cell there, that would have been damaged, but it doesn't look bad.
No, it doesn't look bad at all.
The front corner would have been where he got him. It looks pretty clean, huh? Yeah. Just see the black marks there right by the word Carlo there, the Monte Carlo. Race off pit road of those that stopped. Kevin Harvick and Kurt Busch outside of him. Look at that.
That was close.
Junior. Jeff Gordon should creep into the picture here in a second. Tony Stewart, Terry Labonte.
Jeff Burton. Now, I know Jeff Gordon made a pit stop. I saw him.
Wow.
There he is.
Yikes.
Trouble.
That would be a lot of track position lost. Bill Kurt Busch up to 5th.
And a routine pit stop for him, just 4 tires and fuel, able to get in and out without trouble. So it's a good run for him. They tested here. That seems to be paying off. Routine pit stop for the 97. Matt?
You saw the video, the contact between Mike Skinner and Tony Stewart. You could also tell by the video just a slight buffing of that front bumper. Tony's car needed a little more help on forward bite, so Greg Zipadelli made a track bar and air pressure adjustment. Marty?
In first, out 6 for Dale Earnhardt Jr. They had it sitting there. I need a little bit more forward bite. Half pound out of both rear tires. Pretty small adjustment, Dave.
Terry Labonte gave up 4th place. Marty to pit. They changed 4 tires, took a little air out of the rears to give him more grip up off the corner. Now, championship leader Matt Kenseth came in and changed 4 tires. He said that set of tires made his car very, very tight, so they didn't make any chassis adjustments. Give the same air pressures in a new set of tires. Bill?
The 29 car of Kevin Harvick came down pit road. Also, 4 tires and fuel, no changes. I wondered why I hadn't heard much on the radio for this team today, and they just told me they agreed before the race, because of how hectic it is here, not to talk on the radio unless it was an emergency. Marty?
Jeff Gordon has fallen all the way back to 15th, Bill. What happened when Shane Parsnow took off the right front tire? A lug flew in the air, landed on the stud, wedged itself in between the new tire and the studs. Had to pull the tire off, take the lug out, put a new tire on. Took him a long time on pit road, Bill.
And the leader of the race is Rusty Wallace. How about that? Bashed up race car and all. Of course, they stayed out under this caution period. Last stop on lap 139 and lap 140. Took 2 tires on 139 and 2 more on 140. They tell me the race car is excellent, despite how it looks, and they just need a track position. We'll see what happens.
Lap 185 of 500 complete under caution in the Subway 500 in Martinsville, Virginia. Back under green and back in Martinsville. Rusty Wallace has just led the field around. First time back at full speed. Jimmy Johnson second, Dale Jarrett third. Did not pit under this caution flag. Then Kevin Harvick fourth, and Kurt Busch fifth. Kyle was in the race yesterday. Kurt today. Yes. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, Terry Labonte, Jim Burton, Ken Schrader make up your top 10. Jeff Gordon in 14th place.
Here comes Harvick, boy. He's going to get to the front pretty quick. I've got an idea here.
He just turned left going in turn 3 and drove on the inside of DJ in the 88 car and takes that spot away. But Kurt Busch trying to follow him through in that 97.
Dale
Jarrett in a little bit deeper.
Dale Jarrett really last at 123 clear. So that's about 60 lap pressure tires that Harvick and some of these other guys have.
He realizes he's going to lose some positions. 10 or 15 would be reasonable, but it would gain him some position if he can just hang on till the next caution flag and everybody pit. He'll pit with him. Talking about Dale Jarrett in the 88. As Dale Earnhardt Jr. with the 8 gets on the inside.
Harvick getting alongside Jimmy Johnson.
Be for second place.
He was there, but Jimmy Johnson had a little bit better grip off the corner. Now he's going to take a look again. Not so much the advantage this time for Jimmy. Matt, what are they saying about Jimmy Johnson's car?
It's been a struggle all day, but it's been a horrible weekend for Jimmy Johnson. After running back-to-back top 10s here, they have just not been able to dial that race car in. Chad Knaus kept him out for track position. In fact, at one point this weekend, Wally, they had Jimmy go out and follow Jeff Gordon just to see if he can pick up anything to help that race car.
Jimmy finished 6th in this race last year. Was his best Martinsville finish. 9th in the spring race this year. So a couple of top 10s in a row for the 48 team here. Asked you earlier in our Singular Wireless Race Talk poll, what kind of racing do you like most? The short tracks, the 1.5 mile, 2 mile intermediate tracks, or the Daytona Talladega super speedways? Pretty even split.
Yeah, I kind of felt like A and C would be swamped. That folks would like the Daytona Talladega races, but I'm glad to see that A, short track, got the most.
I think we needed a D in there for all of the above. I think it's one of the great things about Winston Cup racing is the variety of tracks and the variety of challenges that these drivers have to conquer to win a championship.
Terry Labonte.
It's seventh place he's working on Dale Jarrett for.
Take that spot.
Hard to believe all the success that Terry Labonte has had in NASCAR Winston Cup racing, a 22-time winner. He's never won here at Martinsville. He's finished second 3 times, but he's never been able to just get that one more spot. Dale Jr. looking for 4th place and got it on Jimmy Johnson.
And Harvick has caught the 2-car Rusty Wallace, and he's going to take a look downstairs.
And with those fresh tires, there's not much Rusty can do except say, go, big boy, I'm going to try to follow you. Give me some tires on our next pit stop, and hopefully I'll be close enough to you I can do the same thing to you.
So new leader Kevin Harvick.
So just let them, if you got to let them go, get your rhythm. We'll be in good shape.
That's Billy Wilburn talking to Rusty Wallace.
As he told him earlier, we're going to have to do some things that we don't want to do to try to get this track position back after he was involved in that crash with Jimmy Spencer.
Kurt Busch on Rusty for second. Tell you now, Kurt's hanging right with Kevin.
Yes, he is.
They've gotten away from Junior a little bit, but 97's hanging right with him. How about a check of the championship standings as they run? Matt Kenseth is way back in 22nd place. He pitted one more time than some of these other guys have. Pitted on that last caution as well. Dave, how about Matt Kenseth?
All right, 4 guys working on tires back here for Matt Kenseth. Didn't like that last set. Todd Millard leads this crew as a tire specialist. What they're doing is resizing, rechecking. They brought tires from somewhere that they weren't here before, making sure they have the best sets for Matt, doing everything they can not to try to have another set that he doesn't like.
So Matt Kenseth mired back in traffic now in 22nd place. Here is the race for 5th.
And we haven't talked too much about Tony Stewart, the winner last week at Charlotte, but in the 20 car, but he is fast. It looks like right now that Harvick, Busch, Stewart, Jr., pretty evenly matched.
Listen to this on Tony Stewart's month, the last 4 races. 3rd, 3rd, 4th, 1st. Up from 11th to 7th in the championship standings in that time. Something about this team late season. It's like when the leaves change color, the leaves turn to orange.
There you go.
Well, I don't know whatever it is, but boy, they really come on strong and finish each season so well. When Tony Stewart won the race here 3 years ago in the fall of 2000, he led 179 of the 500 laps for his win that day. Did you ever have in your racing careers just a part of the season that was yours?
I wish.
Off season.
Yeah. Off season? Yeah. Too many easy lines there.
Trying to help you out.
Yeah. Got to make it a little more of a challenge, okay?
It has been unusual of the success that they've had in the second half the last 3 or 4 years of that 20 car. Look at this. Busch closes in on the back of Harvick.
Kurt's not yet led today. Started 13th.
Looks like Kurt gets in and just through the center a little bit better, but Kevin Harvick is getting off the corners a little bit better.
Kurt running a little bit lower there than Kevin was.
And Kurt kind of goes down, lets the car slide up a little bit.
Junior trying to take over that 3rd spot from Rusty Wallace, and he will. A couple of laps ago, I checked the score monitor, and Junior in the 8 car running a little bit faster than Harvick or Kurt Busch.
Busch is trying.
And they're going to come up on a couple of slower cars pretty quickly here.
Oh,
here
check this out. Man, he can drive that car in, can he?
Yeah, that car getting into the corner like dynamite.
So Kurt Busch out in front as we close in on halfway in the Subway 500, one of 6 different drivers who traded the lead today.
We welcome you back to the Martinsville Speedway in Southern Virginia. 217 laps of the Subway 500 are complete, and on this short track with 43 cars that started all trying to find room to race. We're going to attempt to get you through the field before something big happens. So let's start at the front of the field with the race leader, Kurt Busch. Came here, tested. Crew Chief Jimmy Fennig said they had a good test, got 4 tires and fuel, and that's all on their last stop. That helped them a lot because they'd only got 2 tires on their previous stop at lap 108. Right behind him, the 29 car of Kevin Harvick. Having a solid run, did not test here, has not said hardly anything on the radio, but I was reminded there are nearly 300 laps to go in this race. We're just taking our time, Marty.
Bill, the third-place man in the championship, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in third right now, trying to catch Kevin Harvick. A little bit tight to start this run. That's good news. They get looser the longer they run, and they're very good on these long runs, Matt.
Tony Stewart has climbed up the fourth looking for a second Martinsville win. He hasn't said anything on the radio about those adjustments on that last stop to help the forward fight, Bill.
Rusty Wallace was leading on the restart, has fallen back to the 5th spot, but still the car is good. He's on older tires. Last stopped on lap 140. Winning ugly maybe for the 2. How about the 5, Dave?
It's better, Bill. No comment from Terry since he came in and took that air pressure out of the rear tires. Better grip, better car for Terry. Matt?
Remember, Jimmy Johnson stayed out on that last caution for track position, still holding steady in the top 10, currently 7th. Battling a tight race car all day, a tight race car all weekend, Marty.
Jeff Burton started 21st looking underneath. Jimmy Johnson for the 8th position, gets that position, not so quickly there. Car is coming around for Jeff. Had a rough start to the race. He says, calm down. We have a chance to win it if we stay in control. Bill?
Thank you, Marty. Right there in the 12 car, Ryan Newman started 8th, fell all the way back when he had that trouble, had to come in, get tires, get back out. Now looking inside the 99, trying to pick up positions, falls back in line. We check in on the 49.
Kenny Schrader holding steady also in the top 10. On the last stop, they took on 4 tires because the previous stop, Kenny took on 2. He didn't like that set of tires. No changes, though, on the last stop. In fact, at one point, Marty, he came on the radio and said to Beth Ann Morgenthau, the owner, if you stand up the whole race like you are going to be very tired at the end. And he rounds out the top 10 guys, Marty.
Matt, after the 19-second pit stop, Jeff Gordon restarted 16th. He's now trying to take 10th away from Ken Schrader. Says he has no forward bite right now, a little bit loose off the corners, Bill.
And right behind them, the 31 of Robbie Gordon. Remember, got food poisoning last night, had to take 2 liters of water. An IV this morning, did stop at the infield care center. I just asked Kevin Hamlin, his crew chief, how are things? I got a smile and a thumbs up. So I guess they're okay right now. Marty?
Bill, 3-time Martinsville winner Ricky Rudd in the 13th position right now. They asked him what was wrong with the car, and he said, it won't turn left. I think that's a problem here at Martinsville, considering there's no right-hand turns, Dave.
Problem for Bobby Labonte is won't turn the middle of the corner, and track position, biggest thing for them right now. Pat McElwain very frustrated that he can't get the car through the field. Matt?
Mark Martin, 2-time winner in the 6th car, currently runs in 15th, started 23rd. They really haven't adjusted a lot on this race car all day. He's just been mired back in traffic. Dave?
17 car of Matt Kenseth. He restarted in 25th. Has moved his way up to 22nd. Not a lot of commentary other than, please tell me where the leader is. Got to make sure I stay ahead of him.
And so that is through a chunk of the lead lap cars. Well, there are 33 of them.
And 97, the leader, is having some problems.
Yeah, everything that Kurt Busch worked for to try to put some distance between he and Kevin Harvick is gone because he ran up on slower cars.
And behind them, Jeff Burton, 99, and Jimmy Johnson, 48, racing for 7th. Ryan Newman in the mix there.
Oh, no, not 3 wide, Kurt. Please don't.
Oh, no, that's not going to work.
Okay, go ahead now.
Maybe it will work.
Kenny Wallace 2 laps down in 35th place after his troubles we saw earlier. Todd Bodine in the 54 was trying to stay on the end of the lead lap. He's in 33rd place.
Oh, that was a good move.
That was a great move by Kurt Busch. Just Trent Jr. goes into 2nd position, the 8 car. Harvick said, and around goes Kenny.
Right rear
Kenny
flag.
Wallace is spun.
Got a right rear tire flag.
The caution flag is out. Dave, something up with Matt Kenseth?
What a huge break for these guys. They think they have a left rear tire going flat. Very tight in the middle for Matt, and a little bit loose off the corner. But he thinks he's got that left rear down. They may have had to stop under green, which would have been a big blow.
Wow. So a great break there.
He had made some contact with someone with the left rear tire on the 17 car because, you know, these tires of Goodyear's have Goodyear in yellow, and you can see as the car goes around when they're all black and that yellow is gone, that means that we've made some contact with someone, and sometimes that does have a punctured tire when that happens.
I'm going to take some air all the way around, but too late. We're up the road here.
Here come the leaders, Dave.
Terry Labonte, no chassis adjustments on this car, just 4 tires and fuel. They'll get him on his way. Matt?
Tony Stewart already in. A track bar adjustment, 3/4 of a round as they come around to the left side.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. actually did not come down pit road, meant to come down pit road. He was upset on the radio. Jeff Gordon, however, in front of him, car a little bit loose. They go, or tight rather. Bob Gordon round on the track bar, 4 tires for Gordon.
And Jeff Gordon is too close to the wall. They're having trouble getting the left side up. The Jagman had to pump the thing 2 or 3 times, and that just cost him all kinds of time. Dave?
Costing time for Matt Kenseth was Casey Mears pitting right in front of him. Matt pitted at the front of his pit stall, Casey near the back. They had to push Matt back before they let him go forward.
As I said, these pits are tricky.
Very, very tight. So all kinds of things happening here all at once. Kenny Wallace spinning out on the racetrack as Matt Kenseth thinks he might have a left rear tire going flat. We get guys who did not pit under the caution, including Kurt Busch, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Kevin Harvick. Bill?
These guys down here are furious, the leaders, about when the pits were open and when the flag was waving. Nobody, they claim, saw that the pits were open when the leaders actually went by the first time, claiming the flag came out too late, and the guys at the back of the field saw it before they did. They are livid down here.
Oh, man.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., BP, he is absolutely livid on the radio as well. He said the flag did not come out until after he passed pit road and passed the flag. He was very upset, talking to his team at first, then just venting his frustration on the radio about the leaders did not see the flag. He said their radio, the team told him everybody else around you is upset as well. And he said, I don't blame him, I am too.
Man, well, that puts him at a big disadvantage. Huge. Obviously.
There he is, and green flag, when he waves it, means it's okay to pit, but the question is, when did he wave it? If they wave it right now, those 2 cars can't see it.
Right. And when the red flag with the yellow cross on it, the other flag that's there is out, that means pit road is closed and you're not supposed to make a pit stop. Now, we think we've figured out what happened to Matt Kenseth and why that left rear might have been a problem for him. This is Jason Leffler in the 0.
Ooh, there's definitely contact there. And that all that sheet metal on the right front, like a knife. Dave?
And so here's what you do. You tell your guys, I had contact with Jason Leffler. I may have flatted the left rear. Get up on the wall, get ready. And when the tire eventually came off, it was full of air. But you get ready just in case.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Now let's go back and show you the reason for the caution flag.
You see Kenny Wallace going into turn 3. And he just loops it getting into the corner. We'll show you later.
We're still digging for what caused the caution. But we'll catch up to it. Because when we say ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, we got it.
Now let's try a different machine.
Yeah. Look at 23 there. He's got a flat going into the corner right there.
You know, he's lucky he didn't back it down the fence that time.
Yeah.
And sitting right in the middle of the racetrack, cars going by on the inside and outside. Bill?
Well, down here in Kurt Busch's pit, that's crew chief Jenny Fennick talking to the NASCAR official that has his pit. This could be adults-only television. Tell us what happened, what Kurt did or didn't see.
I don't know. NASCAR, they'll do what they want, you know. In these meetings we had Sunday with NASCAR, they say they're going to go 1 lap and then straighten out. It was automatic.
And that is part of the argument down here that it has been since they went to the lucky dog rule that the pits do not open right away. There was some concern about whether the pits opened too soon down here. The message that Kurt on the radio was, these guys make up the rules as we go along during the race. Marty.
Tony Eury Sr., what did Junior say on the radio, and what did you say to the official?
Well, you know, when the new pit road was open, we'd have pitted, but since they come up with all these crazy rules they got, at Dover, they said the first time you go by pit road's going to be closed so they can sort out the alignment so they know who gets their lap back. Now, all of a sudden, they've changed the rule and don't tell nobody. We drive by the pit road, don't know the thing's open. gracious. They got so many rules they can't keep up with them.
Junior said he had 5 car links before the green flag came out on pit road. Not enough time to make a decision like that.
Kurt Busch, Dale Jr., and Kevin Harvick do not pit under the caution, as well as Dave Blaney. He stays out and takes over the 4th position. Then the first car off the pit lane, Tony Stewart, who rides in 5th.
Now you got 3 guys up there that have lost a lot of patience in this race.
Yes.
3 guys that are real angry.
And all of a sudden, I think that the advantage is swung heavily over to Tony Stewart.
Yes.
Because he made that pit stop. He has fresher tires than these cars. Matt?
And Benny, that's why Greg Zipadelli lets spotter Mark Robertson have the authority of when pit road is open. He is the one that tells Tony, okay, come in, pit road is open. He saw the flag, told Tony to come in when running 4th. It was a great move. They got first off pit road.
Good move by Mark is right.
So now Stewart with fresher tires by about 50 laps, and these guys he's trying to chase down in front of him.
Yeah, I think Tony will be there pretty quickly.
I tell you what, it looks to me like driver 8 is a little hot right now. Just hot about life, you know?
A little aggressive behind the wheel.
A little aggressive, yeah. Taking a look, here he comes.
For the race lead. Junior led earlier for 33 laps.
I'll tell you what, that Kurt Busch driver in there. 8's coming, Marty.
I think incensed is a good word, BP. He is livid on the radio. Still upset all the way coming to the green about what happened on the racetrack. He said, we're going to get killed here because the old tires are going to go away, but I'm going to do my best to keep those guys behind me.
Probably what they need to have happen is for this thing to run green for about 50 laps and then get another caution. Because then if you get about 50 laps on the tires, then the other guys are going to want to pit.
If I was NASCAR, I probably would throw a caution flag. I'd find a piece of debris someplace to try to even this thing up.
Hey, just let the cat out of the bag, BP.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I would do anyway. With all this junk, there's got to be debris someplace.
But in saying that, BP...
Oh, here we go, Junior! Almost got in the back of the 97. Do what?
I was just saying, in saying that, you're taking the stance that they would feel that they made a mistake in the call, but if they don't feel they made a mistake in the call, there it is. You're out there. Bill, Kevin Harvick didn't stop there also. Same situation for him?
Exactly right, Alan. So he'd probably vote with Benny on that. But Kevin came across the radio and said it wasn't out when we went by. And he goes, I might have missed it, but I guarantee you the guys in front of me wouldn't have missed it. It was not there.
Yeah, it's unusual for 3 guys to make a mistake like that. 1 you could maybe.
So Dale Jr. goes to the lead, and Tony Stewart with those 50-lap fresher tires.
Oh, yeah.
He's closed right in on all of them. He's gone by Dave Blaney to take 4th. Work around the lap car of John Andretti in the 1.
The mix in this right now is Andretti. The 1 car who seems to be faster than these 3 leaders, and he may slow Tony Stewart's progress down some because he's going to take the inside lane or whatever lane he feels like he can pass these cars. Tony now can try to follow him.
Yeah, I think he probably will. And then once the 1 car clears, then Tony will get by the 1 car.
Yep. Remember John Andretti with 2 flat left rear tires under green earlier. It's put him 4 laps down back in 39th place.
But he has a great race car, talking about John Andretti, as we see this battle for the 2nd position.
Now, you think these guys were hot before? Now they're really hot when these fresh tires are going by.
Oh, yeah, now, even hotter.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart underneath Kurt Busch.
I mean, I realize you folks listen to us talk about these fresh tires and say, well, they only had 25, 30 miles on the tires. Good gracious, don't tires last 30, 40,000 miles? No, they're lucky to last 75, 80 miles on these race cars, and 40, 50 miles can make a huge difference in how they grip the racetrack and the speed around the track.
Yeah, a little bit better here at Martinsville when you're only talking about a couple of tenths of a second a lap between everybody. Just that little bit better means a lot.
Tony just can't finish the pass. Poking him out, poking the nose out, but he just can't get up in front of him. Well, he might right here.
Yeah.
Kurt had a slip there.
Just a matter of time.
And those tires on Kurt's car are 41 laps older than the tires on Tony's car. 41 laps.
And Here's Jeff Burton underneath Kurt.
And that's the point I was trying to make. 20 miles difference on the tires, but it makes all the difference in the world in how the cars grip around the corners.
So Jeff Burton by, and Kurt pushed back another spot.
So Junior's going to be yelling when that 20 car goes by him.
He's got to catch him first. Second and a third advantage for Junior on Tony Stewart. You see the gap? John Andretti, the lap car, Junior's teammate, has closed up on him on fresher tires.
Yeah, well, it's gonna happen.
And here comes Texas Terry. Started 31st, running 6th. Working on Kevin Harvick and Kurt Busch for 5th and 4th. How about Terry there, Dave?
I just want to remind you what a great strategy move this was. Remember, they started 31st way back in the pack. And when they stayed out and stayed out and stayed out, they needed it to stay green long enough for everyone else to want to pit. And then they got back on the same pitting strategy as the leaders. It worked.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm talking about here with Junior and Harvick and Kurt, is if the race runs green long enough that the guys who just got the fresher tires are going to want to pit,
then they can be back with fresh tires, the same equal tires with these other guys.
Yeah.
And they'll lose some track position. They'll lose from 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, maybe back to 7th, 8th, and 9th, but at least they're in contact with the leaders.
John Andretti trying to get 1 of 4 laps back.
Now, Junior really, if he's smart here, should just let the one car go and not be forced to race up there side by side, because that's going to help Tony Stewart track him down.
Marty, what's Dale Jr. saying now? Anything?
Well, his team has told him a couple of times to let the one car go, just what Wally said, but I think he's so mad in the race car, he didn't want to let anybody go by him right now.
I think that's the whole point. He's just angry right now.
We're just past halfway in the Subway 500. Martinsville Speedway in Virginia, NASCAR on NBC. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is out in front of this race, but his lead shrinking rapidly as Tony Stewart closes in on him from behind. We've got 34 cars on the lead lap. We've had 8 caution flags for 57 of the 258 laps that have been completed so far. Only one driver not on the racetrack, Sterling Marlin, with overheating problems after something went through his radiator earlier.
In this situation right now, you basically eliminated the 3 of the fastest guys that have been here all day.
Now let's go back and look at a replay of the pit road open close flag. It's going to come into the left side of your screen. Kurt Busch, the leader.
Now it should be waving now if Kurt Jr.
There's the official. That green flag's up.
Wait a minute, back it up. Back it up.
Is that?
It's coming up, yes.
Right, I'm not colorblind. That flag is green.
I understand, but these guys are already past where they can see it. It should be waving. It should be waving somewhere when these cars are back in this area. Now it starts waving.
I would like to see a shot from inside a race car if that would be the way to, because you're right, we can see it here easy, but it's a different perspective when you're on the racetrack.
Bill?
I think we also need to determine what lap that was, because the concern is nobody was looking for it at the front because they didn't think it would be out that lap. They expected it to be out the next lap.
And that's a good point, Bill, because if you're a driver and you're coming down out of turn 2, your spotter's probably going to say pits are not open. So you don't even look at that flag. You start looking at your gauges and you start, messing around with other stuff.
All right.
You're not going to believe this.
Third strike and you're out. John Andretti's got another flat left rear tire.
There's definitely something rubbing on that.
And Tony Stewart has caught Dale Earnhardt Jr. to race him for the lead.
Now we talk about what a huge disadvantage this was for Junior and for Kurt Busch, but how about Kevin Harvick, who is second in NASCAR Winston Cup point standings, who had a real shot, a very good race car today. He's now back in 7th, and Kenseth is not having a good day. He's only back in 29th.
Another look at it, back to determining when the flag waved. You see on the right of the screen, you see the official there at the end of the pit road.
Okay, he's waving the red flag right now.
Right now. Those are lap cars going by. Now see, look at that.
Yeah, the green is out.
Out plenty early.
Yeah. So I think there is time if the drivers had expected to be out.
Yes. So that's where the question then becomes. And see, Junior started to move to pit road there.
But couldn't make up his mind if he should or not.
Yeah.
That's going to be a hard one to argue.
Oh, it is.
Because the flag was out.
Yeah.
Marty?
And remember what we said, Junior said he only had about 5 or 6 car lengths once he saw the flag to react to get to pit road. That's not enough time. He also said to Tony Eury Jr., I didn't want to come if you weren't ready for me. I wanted to ask you first. Didn't have enough time to do that either.
Well, the second part, you're probably right. He had enough time to get that car on pit lane. But if you don't know whether to come or not, you know, you don't want to do the wrong thing as a driver. You don't want to get yelled at if you come and go, what are you doing? We didn't tell you to come in. And I never have gotten yelled at before, so.
You drivers don't take being yelled at well.
No. Yeah. There's Tony. Ooh.
Wow, he had a handful of
power slide there.
Swatting flies in there. Hands going everywhere.
Hey, what, Junior's did a good job for keeping him off this long.
Anger will help you do that.
Yes, it will.
And we keep talking about Tony Stewart. How about Jeff Burton at 99 car? He is hanging him right in there with these guys.
Yep. Let's see if he can get him this time. Bobby Labonte has fallen off the pace for a couple laps, been showing a little bit of smoke. Dave?
His last reply on the radio was, well, it's going to blow up. Earlier, he had switched ignition boxes to try to fix the problem, but now the crew's leaving, and they think their day's done.
That's tough.
Yeah, that blue smoke is a bad sign.
A bad sign when the crew leaves, too.
Yeah. And he gets put a lap down by the leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Derek Pope's car also just pushed behind the wall. So from no attrition, suddenly we've got a couple of mechanical issues here as we work towards the 2/3 mark of this race.
Stewart's going to have, well, he's got company with Jeff Burke right now, but he's going to have some more company with Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson here. He doesn't get by the 8 car and try to get away.
Bobby Labonte being black flagged by not making minimum speed at this point, so he'll be coming to pit road and probably back into the garage. Dale Earnhardt Jr. holding off Tony Stewart for now. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Pit stops underway. Tony Stewart, the first leader to hit his pit stall. Only 40 laps on his tires, but they decided to pit to continue to work on that chassis. Needs more help with the forward bite. A track bar adjustment for Tony, Bill.
Rusty Wallace is on pit road. This will be 4 tires and fuel, no changes. The big thing is getting the fuel in because the vent is banged up from contact on the track. Marty?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. loose off the longer he runs, a pound in both left tires for more forward bite. Also a half round down on the track bar. Don't tighten it up too much. 4 tires. He may win the race off pit road, Dave.
Matt Kenseth's very frustrated with his car not turning through the middle of the corner, so they pulled a spring rubber out of the left rear and hope they can live with the loose off.
Big rush off the end of the pit lane, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to come out first. Stewart, Gordon, Burton, Johnson, and Rusty Wallace. Now, why are we under caution? Top of the screen, Dave Blaney.
Hard to tell if Casey Mears in 41 got in the back of Blaney in the 77, or he just lost it going in the corner.
Joe Nemechek, Michael Waltrip, Casey Mears did not pit. They take over the top 3 spots. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. NBC Sports in Martinsville, Virginia, the south central part of the state where the Subway 500 is under caution at the Martinsville Speedway. This is the 9th caution of the race. A lot of discussion here in recent moments about the prior caution and when the pit road was open. More specifically, what race procedure is now under the no racing back to the caution rule. Kurt Busch has just taken that caution flag. The pace car comes off pit road here.
All right.
Picks him up.
Now the flag is waving down on the left-hand side. The green flag is waving.
Well, it's going to start waving, yes. It may be waving now. We see it is now. The green flag is out. But here's what Kurt Busch said, and his spotter talked about it.
Inlet open that time right there. Pit road was what? Open.
Could they open it like that now, damn it?
I can't believe they did. They've never opened it that soon. Open the damn pit road. As your nose came across that line.
Never did that before. Oh, it's just no damn rule. They always wait one lap.
And Jimmy's right. They have always waited one lap.
They didn't that time, nor they did this last caution flag. As soon as the pace car picked them up and took them by, the pit road opened. So
back underway. Joe Nemechek is the race leader. Michael Waltrip is second. Casey Mears third. Those three did not stop under this caution flag. Then you get Dale Earnhardt Jr. being challenged by Jeff Gordon for a spot there in traffic. So Gordon's going to get pinned in.
Ooh, this is going to get ugly.
Oh, three wide.
Oh,
this is going to get ugly. Oh, he got away with it.
Clunk, bang. So Gordon by Dale Earnhardt Jr. for third.
And Jeff Burton is on the inside of Tony Stewart, has him pinned in behind Casey Mears. Casey Mears is currently in the 5th position. Now Tony pins the Casey Mears car behind Hermie Sadler and 02 car. Junior goes by Michael Waltrip in the 15, his teammate, taking over the 3rd position.
Stewart can do the same thing. Jeff Burton's boxed in there. We'll get clear of the 02 right now. Boy, you got to pick your lane right. And then it's something, you know, I mean, and it changes every other lap.
Trouble, turn 4. Elliott Sadler. No caution yet. Now a caution comes out.
Yeah, he doesn't have the car running there.
And the no racing back to the yellow. They'll all slow down, which will certainly make that a safer situation for Elliott Sadler. What happened to bring out caution number 10?
Little contact between the 0 car going down the backstretch. Elliott Sadler and
cut a tire, maybe?
Yeah,
yes, he did.
Left rear tire flat. They don't turn real good when you get here at Martinsville to the corner with the left rear flat tire.
So, M&M's team with trouble here. Elliott Sadler, involved in a spin, brings out caution number 10. Subway 500, Martinsville, Virginia. NASCAR on NBC. Race under its 10th caution flag at lap 291. Bobby Labonte has taken his car behind the wall. Matt?
And Bobby Labonte's actually climbed from his car, leaning against his hauler. Bobby, any idea what happened to the engine?
We might have dropped a valve first. Thought we broke a valve spring. We took the valve cover off, and the valve spring one broke. But it's liable to have dropped a valve, and ended up broke a piston. So, you know, it wasn't meant to be. Our car was pretty good today. We were got tangled up there one time, had to stop to miss a wreck, and lost a lot of track position. Back and forth, back and forth. The car was pretty good. Just guys did a good job. Just had another motor failure.
Tough day for a former Martinsville winner, Alan.
Yeah, they've had a few of those this year. It has been a tough season.
While the caution,
Labonte.
Alan, while the caution flag is out, these cars are going slow. We need to cue the duck.
Oh, okay.
Because he'll be run over if we throw the green flag with these cars. So, duck.
Here it is, our Aflac NASCAR Winston Cup Trivia Quiz. Who's the only driver to win 4 straight Martinsville races?
Richard Petty.
No.
Rusty Wallace.
Nope.
Jeff Gordon.
Got to go back farther than that.
Oh, farther than that.
Yep.
No.
Wow. Fred Lorenzen. 63, both of them in 64, and the spring race in 65. Wow. Richard and Cale and Darrell and Rusty all came close. They all won 3 straight races here at Martinsville, but Freddie's the only guy to win 4 straight.
Fearless Freddie, back to the green.
Joe Nemechek leading, Jeff Gordon second, Dale Earnhardt Jr. third, Tony Stewart fourth, and Jeff Burton in 5th.
And here comes Gordon on the inside of Nemechek for the lead. Didn't do it that time. Probably will this time.
Only a couple of pit stops under that caution. Elliott Sadler, Mike Skinner, Dave Blaney, Jeff Green pitted. Ricky Craven, Kevin LePage as well.
goes.
So new leader, the 24. Jeff Gordon has led the most laps today, 107 earlier in the race. Dominated the opening part of the race, then got shuffled back when they had a problem on a pit stop. A lug, when they were changing tires, popped up in the air and came back down as they were swapping the wheel and got hung between the tire and the hub, and they had to pull the wheel back off and get the lug clear, and it cost them a lot of track position then. They've been kind of digging out of that hole ever since. Dale Jr. going for second on Joe Nemechek. Marty?
Wally, you drivers are fickle, aren't you? You know, you can be mad one moment, next moment you're loving the world. Junior very happy on the radio, very proud of his crew for helping him stay up front. They kept him calm, even though he was very angry in the car a little bit earlier. They had a great stop this last time, has 4 fresh tires. His quote on the radio, we just averted disaster as he gets second place.
Well, that's why he's happy. He wouldn't have been happy if they didn't get that yellow, but because they got that caution and they caught that break, obviously it'll change your mood a little bit quicker that way.
Now Tony Stewart getting in front of Nemechek to pick up third. Joe shuffles back to fourth, and Jeff Burke working on him. Been talking about this when the pit road is open, and what the confusion seems to be with some of the teams is whether or not the pit road is open on the first time the pace car comes by with the field in tow. NASCAR President Mike Helton has stepped in here with us. Appreciate you coming over. Clear us up on this, will you please?
Well, I think you got to back up to Dover. When we first introduced this element, we said in Dover that we may keep pit road closed long enough to sort things out. Well, after we left Dover, we went to Talladega, which is 2.6 miles, and the pit road's down in turn 4, opening in turn 4. Kansas City's a mile and a half. Charlotte's a mile and a half. The pit road opening is down in turn 4. We get to Martinsville, which is unique. It's a half mile. The entrance to pit road's on the backstretch. But we have opened pit road since Dover on the first lap that the caution car is captured. Everything happens very quick in Martinsville, and we have also kept it closed. Earlier, one of the cautions earlier, we closed it for about 3 laps because we had the carcass and everything on the backstretch, and we wanted to get out of the way before we opened that pit road. So we open it as quick as we can. And in the case of the lap earlier, we were able to open it as soon as the caution car collected them. We feel like we've done the right thing. We'll do it again. We don't think we've done anything wrong. I'm sorry that there's confusion between 2 or 3 of the crew chiefs down there. We think the flag came out at an adequate amount of time, and we think that it's a lot of it has to do with the uniqueness of the playing field that we go to every weekend is so different. And this is the first time we've had Martinsville under these rules.
There you go. Well, obviously, when we replayed it, you could see the flag, and those guys had an opportunity to get to pit lane. The flag was out early enough, so
we've had earlier cautions today where the caution came out right after a caution period, and we brought the green flag as soon as the pace car collected it. The green flag came back out. Maybe only a couple of cars pitted, maybe a couple of leaders pitted, maybe a bunch of them didn't pit it. So I think we're consistent. If the circumstances allow us to do that, it's unfortunate. And as it's sorted itself out already, it's fixed itself. But we would not have modified anything because we felt like we were fair across the board with everybody else.
And the last deal is you've got to be looking for that flag. I mean, it's up to the guys on the roof and the drivers to be looking for the pit opening flag.
Yeah, and we put him in a visible spot. They're spotters. We tell him in the driver's meeting where he's going to be, and David announces it over the radio. The race director announces it over the radio. The pit road is open when we do open it up.
But as you said in Dover, this is a work in progress, and the drivers obviously did not quite understand that, so now they do. And we're all back on the same page again, and really no harm is done.
Well, yeah, but I think it's more than that, Benny. I think that a lot of it has to do with the tightness of Martinsville. The entrance at pit road begins in turn 3 instead of coming off of turn 4. Everything happens very fast at Martinsville. I think from NASCAR's perspective, we've been consistent in the progression of this rule. That particular set of circumstances highlighted a situation that I don't think was NASCAR's fault. I think today we have done it both ways, depending on the circumstances, allowing us to open it if there's not a clustered up somewhere to do that.
And this is something that is discussed in the drivers' meeting, the drivers and crew chiefs meeting 2 hours before the race.
That's correct.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike. Mike Helton, NASCAR president. Jeff Gordon has opened up a big lead. 2.5 on Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to reestablish the dominance he showed in the opening miles of the Subway 500.
NBC's coverage of the Subway 500 is brought to you by Subway, fresh-made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh. By Aflac, ask about it at work. And by Budweiser, the best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser.
Got 185 laps to go here in the Subway 500, and Jeff Gordon is the man of the hour right now. Second up on Dale Earnhardt Jr. with Tony Stewart, Jeff Burton, and Jimmy Johnson rounding out the top 5. 32 cars on the lead lap. 10 caution flags so far today. 8 different leaders. Jeff Gordon has led the most, followed by Dale Jr., Terry Labonte, Kurt Busch, Joe Nemechek. Other leaders, Rusty Wallace, Kevin Harvick, and Tony Stewart.
Boy, Jimmy Johnson, that 48 car, is trying his best to get around 99.
Little Debbie lap leaders give you the picture on who spent the most time out in front today.
It's Gordon, Jeff Gordon, easily now, getting those 5 bonus points for leading the most laps in an event.
Still racking them up. Yep. Jeff Burton having a solid run, trying to hang on to 4th spot. Marty?
Just a terrific run from the 21st starting position. He came on the radio about 15 laps ago. He said, you know what? It's a little hard to pass out here. Paul Andrews came back, said, hey, you're doing the best you've done all day long. Car looks terrific. Just keep doing what you're doing because it looks good. He has to run that higher line. That's what Jimmy Johnson's trying to take advantage of.
Jeff Burton, 5 top 5 finishes in the last 7 races at Martinsville, and this is a home game for him somewhat. South Boston, Virginia, about an hour's drive up the road from here in Martinsville.
Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, trying to put Ricky Craven 32 a lap down. That's allowed Junior to close right up on the back bumper. So it is a little difficult to pass around this racetrack.
Craven 32nd place, now goes to the first car 1 lap down, and you see that big pack of traffic ahead that driver 24 is going to catch up to in a hurry.
Jason Leffler, 0 car.
Left
Looks
rear.
like he's got a flat tire.
Yeah. And that's right in the middle of that traffic in front of the leader. Man, and he's going to get to pit road.
Luckily.
That was ugly.
Yeah. And luckily that casing that carcass did not come off the wheel and stay on the racetrack. Otherwise, a caution flag would have had to have been waved to remove that.
Seen a lot of left rear tires go down today.
Yeah, and it can all be, well, I don't know.
My guess is it's contact
between cars, or I wonder if brake heat.
You wouldn't really see it there.
You would think in the rear it would be a problem because the fronts, I don't know, brakes are probably 100, 200 degrees warmer in the front than they are the rear.
So just a lot of contact between cars.
More than that even, I bet.
I saw a lot of cars today with blowers on their rear brakes, not just the fronts. That's why I brought it up.
Yep.
Jeff Gordon on Michael Waltrip. Michael did not pit under that last caution, restarted second, and he's just gone a lap down, so that didn't work out.
That's a plan that did not come together.
These guys are starting to come up on a lot of cars that can be putting a lap down.
Derek Cope's car has been retired from the race. Mechanical problems for him. We talked about Bobby Labonte's troubles earlier. The only other car that's in the garage, Sterling Marlin, with a punctured radiator.
Take a look at Mike Skinner's brakes. Brake cam.
See down the straightaway as he applies the brakes. You can see the reflection. We can't quite see the rotor because the tire is deflecting so much.
But they don't look bad.
No, they don't. What's that tire, the bottom of the tire, just how much it deflects, tries to pull itself off that rim. That baby's getting the grip, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll be able to see the reflection right there. The rotor's glowing. But like you said, Benny, he's getting some pretty good grip. You get good grip, you don't use as much brake here.
Mike in the 01 car. running in 28th place. He's last on the lead lap. That is Jeff Gordon coming up behind him to try and put him a lap down. Gordon still holding off Junior.
Tony Stewart is a couple of seconds behind this battle for the lead.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. last 3 Martinsville finishes, 5th, 4th, 3rd, excuse me. Led 195 laps of the race here in April, tangled with a lap car pretty late, and spun around.
They box him in here.
Boy, he gets through those corners so good.
We'll see if Junior can keep him up. He may box him in behind Mike Skinner.
See that right front fender kind of pushed under on a bigger track. That would be a big issue. Not so much so here at Martinsville. Marty, how about that 8 car?
Pretty good, and I think he works the bottom line a little bit better than Jeff Gordon. That's what he's trying to do. He actually came on the radio a moment ago and said, I'm afraid to use the brakes. In fact, I think I'm not using enough brake. That's something you very rarely hear. Goes back to his rookie season at Richmond where they lost the brakes during a race. He said they come back there with half a pad sometimes left, BP. That's rare you hear a driver say, I think I'm not using enough brake here at Martinsville.
And Marty, I talked to Tony Uriseem this morning and I asked how Junior taught himself to be so easy on the brakes. He said after that time when he used all the brakes up here at Richmond or someplace, his dad said, listen, you're going to have to learn to drive these cars without using much brakes. Follow me. He took him on the racetrack, made him follow him during practice. He said after that moment, Junior has never been hard on brakes again. Matt?
Benny, we were speculating a lot about the left rear tire on the 0 car. An interesting note, Mike Ford told Bill Elliott that on the last set of tires that came off his car, the left rear tire was actually 20 to 25 degrees hotter
than any of the other tires, huh?
Than the right front tire.
Wow.
That's amazing. That race that Marty was talking about, the race that Junior came up here, his first Winston Cup try here, and he hit everything, including a tow truck. Remember that? Got done at the end of the day, and his dad shook his head and said, he's got a lot to learn about Martinsville. He obviously has learned well. Now, Dale Jr. 3rd in the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship standings. What about the guy he's chasing, Matt Kenseth? Well, he's just taken the 21st position away from Jeremy Mayfield. Dave?
Well, during this run, Matt sort of assessed his day here. He said, I'm using up my brakes. I don't like that. And the leader has been too close to me from behind all day. He said, but the balance is pretty much better than it was in the spring, and they've gotten the car to rotate a little bit better through the turns. Matt has just been worried about his track position mostly all day.
As they run, Kenseth running in 21st, Kevin Harvick running in 9th, and Dale Jr. running in 2nd.
And Jimmy Johnson, the 48 car, has just gone by Tony Stewart. Wow, taking over 3rd spot. What's going on with the 20th, Matt?
Well, he says the car has lost a little bit in the center of the corner, but the forward bite issue that they have been fighting most of the afternoon is better. The 48 car, though, they are starting to hit on it, Benny.
I got you.
Tony Stewart running 2.5 seconds behind Jeff Gordon, still holding off Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the lead in the Subway 500. 163 laps to go here in Martinsville. NASCAR on NBC from Martinsville, Virginia with the Subway 500, the last short track race of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series season. Jeff Gordon started on pole today. Has led 159 of the 346 laps, but got shuffled way back in traffic when he had a problem earlier, though he has now reestablished himself in the top spot. Check out this race for 6th and 7th spot. Jeff Burton in the 99 being challenged by Ryan Newman in the 12.
And Burton in the 99 is struggling a little bit right now because Kurt Busch, this 97 car, drove by in the lap before. Now he's in jeopardy of losing another spot to Ryan Newman.
How about Jeff Burton? Marty?
Alan, about how many people are at the race today? About 90,000 maybe?
Yeah, it's a little bit better than that.
Yeah, how many of them do you think would be happy if this 99 car went to victory lane, the home state boy? Jeff Burton won this race back in 1997. I remember that day. A big home crowd following that afternoon, and his record at this racetrack is fairly spectacular. 9 top 10s in his last 10 races here, including that win back in 1997. Jeff Burton would be a very popular victor right now if he could pull off this win. But the car, a little bit loose for Jeff, getting looser the longer he runs. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Been a lot of talk about Jeff Burton as far as what's up with his team for next year. That sponsorship goes away at the end of this season.
Oh, here we go. Jimmy Johnson, 48, has Claude Jr. You know, this is kind of like he was at Charlotte last week. We kept talking about Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, and looked up, and here Jimmy Johnson has worked his way into the picture.
Still got some work left to do before you get close enough to him to challenge it, though.
Well, he was close enough at one point, but I think he lost it a little bit.
I think the traffic has been an issue.
Going by Todd Bodine, 54 car. Where's Todd at? Todd is the second car, one lap down in 25th place. 77 of Dave Blaney. Just behind Todd there. He's in 26th. So those two guys are racing for a spot while the other two race for second and third around them. Jimmy Johnson, best finish here at Martinsville, 6th place run this race, 2002. 6 top 10s in the last 8 weeks. Led about a third of the race at Charlotte last Saturday night, came up with a 3rd place finish. Hey, the team kind of, I don't know if I want to use the word struggle, but they had a lot of finishes in the teens in the spring and the early summer. 12th, 14th, 12th, 13th. Trouble turn 4, Mark Martin, Hermie Sadler.
Wow, right in front of Gordon. I can't believe he got through that. Because he could not see a thing, I'll promise you that.
Hey, sometimes you got to be lucky to win these things.
Yeah, most of the time.
Hermie Sadler, James Madison University colors.
That's where his brother Elliott started school and didn't finish there, 1 year. All right, now then, all the leaders will be coming down pit road.
And pit road is open this time. You see the green flag there. And this could be the last stops of the race if this thing goes green to the finish.
Yeah, probably will be.
145 laps to go, and leader Jeff Gordon crosses the start-finish line on the pit road. Matty.
And I just spoke with Chad Canals right before that caution, and he said, I don't know, we are just slowly working at it. They started out with a very vanilla setup as they go to work on the left side of that 48 Chevrolet. Bill.
Kurt Busch on pit road. They'll take the tear off from the windshield. It's 4 tires, a quarter pound out of the right front and the right rear tires. His car's good. Marty.
Jeff Gordon in the lead, happy with the car, said I could use a little more forward bite. Robbie Loomis thought about a chassis adjustment, decided not to do it. They will make no changes on the stop for Jeff Gordon, give him 4 tires and a windshield tear off.
Matt Kenton, no delay leaving his pits this time. They changed 4 tires, made an air pressure adjustment in 3 of the 4 tires and lowered the track bar. His car was loose off the corners.
Looks like Harvick had some trouble down there.
Yeah, it looked like left front maybe they had an issue. Get a follow-up on that in a minute. Looks like the race off pit road was a close one. All right, let's check out the reason that we're under the caution. Trouble in turn 4. Hermie Sadler and Mark Martin got tangled up just in front of leader Jeff Gordon.
See Jeff Gordon trying to put a lap on Greg Biffle in a 16 car and gets alongside, and around those 2 cars go, and
look at all that smoke.
And Mark keeps his car going, and that's important. He beats the 16 to the line, so he becomes a lucky dog.
There's 2 lucky dogs in that deal.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon being the other one. And if Mark wouldn't have gassed it, if he would have just stopped there, Jeff Gordon would have run into the 6th car.
Would have, yes.
So under caution with 143 laps to go, Jeff Gordon is the leader of the Subway 500. How about a Wrangler 5-star finish from here in Martinsville? We look back to the 2002 Old Dominion 500. This is lap 206. Kurt Busch goes into the spin cycle. But with about 100 laps to go, he's back in the lead, and he held off a fast-closing Johnny Benson in the final laps to pick up the win. Kurt Busch started 36th in this race 1 year ago. Lowest starting position for a Martinsville race winner. And for more on Wrangler 5-star finishes, log on to NASCAR.com. And we are getting down to the late stages of this one, the Subway 500 today. Here at Martinsville, just after a round of caution flag pit stops, Jeff Gordon held on to the lead. He's got Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, and Ryan Newman behind him in the top 5. have some horsepower of a different variety next Saturday at 1 Eastern on NBC. The Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships from Santa Anita Park. Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner Funny Side returns to the track in racing's richest day. It's the Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships next Saturday, 1 Eastern on NBC Sports.
Jeff's been getting great restarts. BP, it's important right now because these cars down below want to clear them.
Junior laid back in the 8 car that time. See him lay back trying to get a run on Jeff so he wouldn't get hung on the outside of 22. Didn't work.
Burton in the 22, 23rd place, first car lap down. Remember, he and his teammate Kenny Wallace tangled earlier while both were running in the top 10. 138 laps to go, just after we've gone back racing. Have we seen the leaders pit for the last time today?
I think if it stays green, absolutely, for sure.
What about if we get a caution? Say, lap 425.
I think with 75 laps to go, they might stop. With less than 50 laps to go, I don't think they'll stop and give up track position because somebody's going to stay out there.
Right, 138, 139 laps on a set of tires. The speed differential between fresh tires at that point, that's going to make it a tough call on these crew chiefs.
Yes, it is.
See, Jimmy Johnson hung up on that 22 car, and he's lost, at least 2 or 3 seconds now on the leader because he can't clear that slower traffic. 2 seconds. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot here. This is when you really want to run into that guy. Top racing me.
Now. Temper's temper.
Well, that's what you're thinking, believe me, because these guys are getting away.
It goes back to what you said at the top of the broadcast, Wally, about traffic all day. You're in traffic, and it gets frustrating.
It really does. And, Jimmy Johnson finally clears the 22, but now he's got a lot of ground to make up. Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, all those guys are going to have to deal with the 22, and that's one way of dealing with it.
A little contact there. Nice save by Ward.
That's an easy way to deal with it.
Tony got in the back of him?
Yeah.
Just moving. So Stewart and Ryan Newman clear the lap traffic. Now 2 lap cars are side by side. John Andretti in the 1 and Ward Burton in the 22 are both not on the lead lap.
Andretti's about 4 or 5 laps down to the leader.
And the 16 of Biffle's not on the lead lap. And the 43 of Jeff Green. So the next lead lap car is 99 Jeff Burton. And he's hung up behind all those cars.
And these guys are racing, though. The guys a lap down are racing for position. They're racing hard. They can't just give up because you got a leader there.
They're racing for the lucky dog.
Yeah, and that.
Stay up there and try and be the first car lap down.
Bird gets alongside Biffle. Continue towards the front.
Jeff Green and who is that? Mike Skinner just rubbed together. Some tire smoke flying from between them. And look, now Skinner's got a fender rub.
Left front tire is rubbing the fender.
Robbie Gordon. What a job. Food poisoning or not. Remember, he was going a lap down earlier when we saw him hanging it out trying to stay in front of Jeff Gordon at the time. And now he's up in 7th place.
He got that lucky dog award, moved up to 7th.
Boy, Skinner bounced off the wall, getting off a 2, and then I'm not sure what was going on in between the 31 and the 01, but
something up there. Bill, how about Robbie Gordon's day?
Well, that's just one car maybe he hadn't made contact with yet today, but Robbie has not said anything about his health, so we're taking that as a good sign. You talk about the food poisoning. Last stop, 4 tires and fuel. They lowered the track bar, made an air pressure adjustment, trying to give him more grip. The car is a little free in the center. These guys are having an outstanding day. I think his best finish here, Alan, was his 15th in all of his starts at Martinsville.
Yeah, he's having by far his best run here.
And Robbie has been loose. I mean, that looks like it's a little bit more than a little loose to me. So he's been driving the heck out of that car today.
See Rusty Wallace hanging in there?
I can't believe the 23's got another left rear flag.
88 car spun.
Caution flags out.
How many left rear flats is that for a 23?
Dale Jarrett was running 13th when he got spun around in that jam up.
That's twice he's gone in spin cycle today in the Oops car.
Yeah.
Should put OOS.
OOPS on it today.
OOPS. Oops.
Ward Burton will get the lucky dog.
All right. Persistence. Lay it off.
And there's Kenny Wallace with another left rear flat. You want to sing that Lucky Dog little ditty for us again, or?
Only when I get it, I sing.
Oh, okay. Hey, you'll be racing next Saturday in Atlanta. NASCAR Busch Series race. We're going to get a look at what happened forward from Jeremy Mayfield's view.
It's just that jam up. I mean, you can't see down the racetrack very far here. When they start stopping in front of you, sometimes you don't get stopped quick enough.
The accordion factor.
The accordion factor comes into play.
And it's not a pretty tune.
And none of the leaders made a pit stop. All the cars, 4 or 5 cars laps down, pitted, but all leaders on the racetrack.
Jeff Gordon leads, 125 laps to go, 3/4 of the way through the Subway 500. NASCAR's race for the championship continues with the Subway 500. Martinsville, Virginia just crossed the 3/4 mark of the race, and we're under caution for the 12th time. I just love when things happen between drivers in the championship and they start throwing barbs and comments at each other. Kevin Harvick somehow made note that there was a website that was allowing you the opportunity to pre-order Matt Kenseth Winston Cup champion items. The folks at Roush Racing said, well, yeah, when you're in the hunt for a championship, you have to design these things in advance. You can't wait until the last minute, but we didn't give anybody permission to start offering them for pre-orders, and in fact, that website has since been taken down, this stuff from it. But Kevin said, let me see if I get the quote right here. He said that the Roush team allowing somebody to do the pre-ordering was, quote, showing a lot of confidence for an organization that screwed up championships in the past, end quote.
Oh, yeah.
Harsh words. He doesn't hold anything back, does he, Harvick?
Good.
And of course, again, just to clarify, the Roush group didn't give anybody permission to do anything, but you do have to start designing those things in advance. And in fact, Roush Racing President Jeff Smith came back and said, you'd think if the 29 was in the hunt for the championship, they'd be designing those things too.
And there are eyes everywhere. People are going to find that stuff.
How about it, Bill?
You hit it right on the button. I talked to Matt about that this morning. He had no idea that stuff was being posted. It's pre-orders for retailers. It's not something you can order yourself. You don't even pay for it. If you do, you get your money back. But the thing about it is, he said, go talk to Richard Childress, who's won 6 championships, and ask him. So I went to Childress at the drivers' meeting. He goes, you have to order that stuff long in advance so you have the opportunity to prepare it, get it out to retailers, and have your merchandise ready for the banquet in New York. So it was Kevin Harvick's car owner, Richard Childress, who said, yeah, you kind of have to do that.
But isn't it fun?
It's outstanding.
Tell you what, Junior is in jeopardy of losing this second spot. Jimmy Johnson, his 48 car, is fast.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon leads, Dale Jr. second, Jimmy Johnson third, Tony Stewart fourth, Ryan Newman is fifth. 23 cars on the lead lap. Very, very few of them pitted under that last caution. Mostly guys toward the back end of the lead lap group. Mark Martin stopped, Ricky Craven, Casey Mears, Joe Nemechek, and Jeremy Mayfield stopped.
Looks like he's trying to get them lined up, BP.
I mean, all of a sudden the 8 car just will not turn in the middle of the corner. He gets in the middle. Before we've seen him turn and just go low. He can't do that now.
Well, now remember, Junior and Tony Eury Jr. have said this car is set up for the long haul. The first few laps, they're not going to be very good, but after a while, they're going to be better than everybody. Marty, I get that right?
You got it exactly right, Alan. Takes a little while for Junior's car to come in. Much better when the tires are hot and sticky. Now they're a little bit cold. He will be good at the end of this run. Matt?
Rick Hendrick has cars in the first and third position. We have a spin.
Trouble down the front stretch, Dave Blaney.
And
Todd Bodine.
A lot of damage to that 77 car. He's hit that wall hard.
And the 54 has gotten both the left front and right front corners.
No, he didn't help that car. Look at the nose on that 77.
Yeah. It may be the smallest track on the circuit, but you're still crashing into something at better than, 75, 80 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
When you take a hit like that.
And these walls are just as hard here as they are any place.
Yeah. There's proof.
So this is yellow number 13. And I know you're going to ask me this. We're not even close.
No, I'm not, because I know that. I know.
Check this out. The radiator's broken in the 31 car. Has to be broken.
There's a lot of stuff broken on the front of that car.
Man.
Going 220 right now. Pits are open. I'm going to come in, okay? 4, come on.
All right, let's see if we can dissect all this.
See Blaney down on the left side. Robbie. Top of 9 bounced off the wall when he slowed down. Nowhere to go for Robbie, or Dave Blaney for that matter.
Looks like 54, and who was that? They got, I don't know who he made contact with off the corner.
So yellow number 13 out. The record for most yellows in a 500-lap Winston Cup race here is 18. It's John Andretti that he made contact with BP. Oh, that's going to hurt. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. Feels like a lot of people credit with pushing NASCAR racing onto the national scene. Been a big blizzard in the Northeast, people homebound, and CBS had it live, and what a finish. You couldn't have written it better than that.
I was running around there on overheating, and those guys passed me with 3 laps to go, and I said, I got to run fast enough to watch the wreck anyway.
Did you? Did you see it?
I was there.
And then did you see the fight?
I didn't see the fight.
Oh, okay.
I did see the wreck, though.
What a day. A lot of memories over Winston's tenure as sponsor of this NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Here at Martinsville, few of the leaders pitted under this caution, but a couple did.
That's right. Mark Martin is trying his best to steal a page out of Ryan Newman's book. The last 2 caution flags, he has stopped, changed 4 tires. As soon as these leaders stop, if they do, he's not going to. He's going to stay on the racetrack. Matt?
Manny, Rick Hendrick has his cars running first and third. 9 wins here, could have had a 10th. Under the previous caution, he told his driver, Jimmy Johnson, complimented about his day, but also gave him a brief history about Martinsville.
We can follow that 24 straight to victory lane if we need to.
Yeah, 10-4. Have to knock him out of the way if we want it. That's just how it's going to be here for the end. So we're just have to be gentlemen, hopefully, for everyone.
Once upon a time, I had 2 cars lead this race with 3 cars on the lead lap, and they took each other out. We had a hellacious meeting on Monday morning.
I don't want to have to see him on this road race.
I remember that. Remember? Ricky Rudd and Ken Schrader crashed off turn 2.
Yep.
And I think Rick was delivering a message there, don't you?
You're welcome to pass him, but pass him cleanly. Thank you. Jeff Gordon leads. Dale Earnhardt Jr. between Gordon and his teammate Jimmy Johnson. Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, Jeff Burton, Rusty Wallace back through 7th place. 23 cars on the lead lap. Greg Biffle got the lucky dog pass at that last caution. He is now back on the same circuit with the race leaders. See these guys up front here clearing the lap traffic pretty quickly. That's important for them. Ward Burton in 20th place. He got a lucky dog pass last time. And Robbie Gordon got a lucky dog pass earlier in the race, but now he's got some heavy damage to his car, Dave.
Yeah, now it's a biology project, dissecting the 31 car on the front end. They're going to try to replace that radiator and send Robbie back out. Robbie, even though he wasn't feeling well at the start of this race, gamely staying in the car.
That's no fun.
No.
He's having fun.
He's having fun. He's got an open track in front of him and a pretty fast race car.
Tony Stewart tried to close in on Jimmy Johnson. See if he can pick up 3rd spot.
Meanwhile, Ryan Newman, the 12 car, has worked his way up to the 5th position.
And now really, a lot of what the question becomes here, where do the cautions fly in these final 100 laps? And will the leaders pit? They've all got enough fuel to go to the finish. The question is, will they stop for tires? And if they do, some of these other guys who are in the back of the lead lap now, like Mark Martin and Ricky Craven, for example, that pitted under this last caution, they won't stop.
No, they're not going. Marty, what's the 24 car? What are they talking about doing?
I just asked Robbie Loomis that very question, VP. I said, will you pit again? He said, I don't know, but most likely not.
I mean, it's not what the 24 really is going to do. It's what Terry Labonte or Kurt Busch or Schrader, the guys 8th, 9th, and 10th, because they're not fast enough to pass the leaders right now. So if the leaders pit, obviously, they have to make the call. But if the leaders don't pit, I think you come in for tires. If you're running 7th, 8th, or 9th spot.
When we say you never know what's going to happen in Martinsville, we mean stay right until the checkered flag, because drivers leading the most laps have failed to win 9 of the last 10 races here. Here's the guy that's led the most laps today. Don't go away.
And he's got a pretty clean race car. We look around and see a lot of damage to some of these cars, but Jeff Gordon, pretty good shape. Marty?
And you guys talk about Jeff Gordon leading the most laps. He's done it 5 times this year. His best finish in one of those races is 5th. He has never won when he's led the most laps this year.
Well, that's not a good statistic. Don't tell him that.
I don't think he's going to back off and run second for a while.
No. And then Weber, what was the thing he closed? He looked up so we didn't have to at the end of Countdown to Green about drivers winning from the pole in both races here at Martinsville. Long time ago when that happened, right?
1964.
Busy. Oh!
Kurt Busch, Rusty Wallace. And no others. Everybody else dodges.
3 wide didn't work too good.
No, it never does at Martinsville.
Let's see. Kurt might have gotten the radiator on his car. There's steam pouring out of it.
And that's not out of the window we're talking about. Almost wrecked here in the booth.
Careful, Wally. Well, he got the right front corner earlier.
He's got both left side tires are flat.
So they'll have to pry that car up off the ground to get the jack under it. And now, caution with 96 laps to go. If you're Jeff Gordon, do you pit? If you're Dale Jr., do you pit?
I don't know. Pit road is open. We'll see.
No.
Junior fakes. Is he coming?
Yep.
Yes, he is.
Junior's in.
Oh, my goodness. Jeff Burton is in.
Jeff Burton is in.
All at track position.
Harvick. That's a lot of track position.
Oh, man. Ricky Rudd, Kenseth. Casey Mears, 41.
So lap 4:06, 94 to go. Jeff Gordon stays out. Dale Jr. pits.
I think the reason that Junior pitted, I don't think he liked his car. I think they're going to make some changes. Marty?
BP, you hit it the nail on the head. Junior said, I don't like this set of tires. It's like nothing we've had all day long. It's making the car bounce around on the racetrack. I don't know what to say. I just know I need new tires, Bill.
Kevin Harvick has complained that his car's all over the place. Wedge adjustment, 4 tires, top it off with fuel. See if the 4 tires will help him get back to the front and continue to chase Matt Kenseth. Dave.
17 car, second guessing themselves a little bit. They thought maybe they should have stayed out, but they came in, they changed 2 right side tires, little fresh rubber to take them to the end.
So obviously the question has been answered. I mean, if your car's not handling, you need to come in. This is the time to do it. Make some adjustments, put tires on, and now you're set for the finish.
13 of the 29 lead lap cars, 23 lead lap cars pitted.
So that's what happens here with Rusty. Rusty kind of slides up, and they just tried to make it 3 wide.
You can't fault anybody there.
No.
Oh, 97 car spun on pit road. Look out, guys.
Take to the garage, guys.
What's that all about?
I have no idea.
I think he's got an oil line, water line, something is leaking fluid. And when he entered pit road, the car spun.
Could be a broken oil cooler.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of fluid on the right rear tire when he spun.
And there's a lot of fluid on the racetrack and on pit road now.
Yep.
Here he comes down pit road and around he goes. And
see all the fluid on the right rear tire?
Well, the official got that guy out of the way. Attaboy, look at all that fluid he's putting down. Right rear.
Scary.
Good thing that was then and not when everybody was pitting race cars.
So Kurt Busch has taken his car to the garage, and they're cleaning up all the oil.
And that's one reason that we have a pit road speed limit at 30 miles per hour. But imagine what that would have happened if he'd been running 50, 60 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So caution out for the 14th time in the Subway 500. Pit road is closed while they clean up the oil. Kurt Busch, kind of the meat in the race car sandwich.
takeoff.
Getting style points for taking air, too. Back to Martinsville after this. The final stages of the Subway 500 in Martinsville, Virginia, unfolding on a beautiful afternoon. NASCAR's race for the championship down to just 5 races to go, and Jeff Gordon is out in front with 89 laps left. Here's what put us onto the 14th caution of the race.
Car trying to take off is a 97 of Kurt Busch, right along with Kevin Harvick as he dives down, goes to the inside.
See Schrader there on the inside. He got away with it.
Race car weighs, what, 3,400 pounds? It's not easy to pop a wheelie.
No.
Yikes. And ouch. Some of the lead lap cars pitted, but many did not under this caution. Let's get the thinking from pit road. Marty?
Alan, exactly what Robbie Loomis and Jeff Gordon were worried about. You were going to try and follow the 8, whatever he did, but he took tires. You did not. Worried, Robbie?
Well, we were looking at the whole field behind us, not just the 8, and we only saw 3 or 4 of them peel off there. We got about 10 of them stuck in between here. You know, all year long, being out front's the best place to be, so we got the DuPont Chevrolet out there. We're just going to say a prayer now. Hope it hangs on.
Pat?
Well, what a difference about 9 hours make, Chad Knaus. You had your car in position to win. Do you like where you sit strategy-wise?
Yeah, I think right now we're in pretty good shape. You know, there's about 9 cars behind us that didn't pit that last time. It's going to be pretty hard for some of those guys to get back up there, even under long green flag runs. So I feel like we're in pretty good shape. We're going to have to kind of wait and see what happens. You know, I'll tell you what, these guys have performed so well today on pit road. You know, this Team Lowe's Racing guys, they just, when it's time to go, they go. You know, we got spun out. It was looking pretty ugly, and it was looking real ugly this morning, and you know, now we're in pretty decent position. I'm pretty pleased with it, so we'll wait and see how things turn out.
Their goal today was just a solid top 10 finish. So far, they're working on a solid top 5, Bill.
With Matt Borland, crew chief for Ryan Newman, I really hesitate to ask you this question, but what's the plan?
Just have to wait and see what the leaders do here. We'll probably stick with them and just see how it goes at the end. He's pretty happy right now. Just have to see how many more yellows we get and how it all shakes out.
Car better on the long runs, Matt?
Seems to be. He's pretty happy on the long runs. The short run looks like we struggle a little bit to get going, but after that, it's pretty good.
And I'm sure you can probably make it on fuel, huh?
I think so.
Hey, good luck. Marty?
Tony Erie Jr., can you make it from 12th with 4 fresh tires and win this thing?
Yeah, I think we can. The longest run anybody's made all day was when we were out there, when we kind of got gypped there on the pit stop deal, was 96 laps. So, and the forward bite was just starting to go away. So, you know, last year it come down to the same deal. It cost you come out with 100 to go, and everybody pitted. And this year, only about 13 of us did. So, we couldn't win the race the way we were. So we just went ahead and decided to get our 4 fresh tires and make a couple changes, and we'll win this thing.
Keep in mind, the longer the 8 car goes, the better he gets, Dave.
Kurt Busch is top 10 in points. He stays in the car because his team is going to try to repair everything inside here. I can't even begin to tell you what the problems are, but oil leaking from the car, they're going to try to fix it and send him back out.
You know, Tony Jr. said exactly the thing. They're trying to win the race, and they couldn't win the way they were.
Right.
So
come in, make the adjustments, do it.
Try to win. There you go. Attaboy.
So Dale Jr. will restart 12th when we get this thing back going after the big cleanup. Let's tell you how we've gotten to this point in the Subway 500. Better than 90,000 fans on hand, and the race got wild kind of early. This lap 55, Jimmy Spencer spinning, and one of the pre-race favorites, Rusty Wallace, got damaged. Then Sterling Marlin blocked up turn 4. Kurt Busch among those who had a tight squeeze trying to get through. Ryan Newman into the spin cycle. This was at lap number 80. No harm, no foul. Dale Jarrett going around. One of 2 times he's spun today. Robbie Gordon on Kyle Petty. That wasn't very nice. Jeff Green said, "What are you messing with me and my boss for?" Rusty's bad day continued. He got turned around in this turn 4 tangle. Jimmy Johnson, we just heard his crew chief Chad Knaus say we got spun out. That was where it happened. That was back at lap 138. Kenny Wallace, Ward Burton, they're teammates. They're both in the top 10. They got tangled up together. Ruined a good day for Bill Davis Racing. Tony Stewart with a close call on pit road, but he got away with it. Matt Kenseth, the championship leader. This is a huge break for him. Made contact with Jason Leffler. Thought he had a left rear tire going flat, and the caution came out for this Kenny Wallace spin at lap 230, and Kenseth was able to change the tire without losing any time on pit road. Here was the big controversy of the race so far. Some of the leaders didn't catch that pit road was open when they came by the entry to the pit lane. This was at lap 231 on that caution. So Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr., and Kurt Busch didn't stop. That's Kurt Busch's crew chief, Jimmy Fennig, expressing his displeasure, though replay showed that flag was waving green with plenty of time for them to make the move to pit road. Jeff Gordon, the leader, making a close call through some traffic. This was Robbie Gordon having a top 10 finish ruined. And now the most recent caution, Kurt Busch, Rusty Wallace. Airtime. And then Kurt cutting an oil cooler out of his car, spinning in his own oil, and making a big mess around the racetrack that they're still working to get finished, cleaned up.
Other than that, it's been boring.
Yeah. What is it we said at the top of our show? Lots of action at Martinsville. Yeah. We've had it today.
That's why they've got 90,000 people here.
14 caution flags, 8 different leaders. Jeff Gordon has been the dominant driver, led 228 of the 417 laps. Earnhardt Jr., Terry Labonte, Kurt Busch, Joe Nemechek, Rusty Wallace, Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, the other leaders. And we're setting up for a sprint to the finish. Who knows what's going to happen in these final 82 laps? You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
81 laps to go here in the Subway 500 at the Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. Still under caution while they clean the track and pit road. In the 29 pit, you guys decided to stop, Todd. Why?
We had just a couple bad stops here in a row. Lost some track position. We just keep digging ourselves in a bigger hole every time we go right here. We still feel like we couldn't really have tires good enough to go all the way to the end because the last time we stopped was like 3:55. So, I mean, we're not stopping again regardless of what happens for the rest of the day, but we're just trying to get better. I mean, the car's pretty good now, but it's track position killing us.
Yeah, it's been tough to maneuver through it today.
Yeah, it is. There's nobody cutting anybody any slack, and you're going to have a really good car to get up through there. So hopefully half of them will eliminate themselves, and we'll capitalize on it.
All right, good luck.
Okay.
Chasing a championship, chasing Matt Kenseth.
It's cool, isn't he?
Yeah. Matt?
Bill, Tony Stewart trying to solidify his 5th straight top 5 finish, something he hasn't done in over a year. Crew Chief Greg Zipadelli lounging on top of the pit box. So how is the race car?
It's not bad. We're trying to save our tires right now. We've been getting loose on the exit. It's been turning really good all day. So we're kind of committed to staying out until the end unless we get a good long run and then there's 50 to go or something. We may come. So we're just trying to take care of our stuff right now and see if we can bring this Home Depot Monte Carlo home in a good, strong top 5. And who knows what'll come towards the end there. Maybe we can win another one.
But you know, though, how you can lose one on pit road here as well.
Yeah, I've been there before. Believe me, it's going back through my mind every lap here just sitting here. But we should be all right today.
A year ago, April, the driver actually made the call. They pitted while leading. He had to fight all the way through traffic, Dave, and he finished 3rd.
With Robbie Reiser now, crew chief for Matt Kenseth. And he's checking on something right now. It's been a work-hard day for these guys. They've been back in the pack all day long. Track position hasn't been very good for you guys all day long. You came in and changed 2 tires, Robbie. What's the car like to the end?
Well, I don't know. We haven't run 2 tires all day long, so we've got the car handling a lot better than we did earlier in the race, and hopefully we'll be able to move up from here.
You told me you didn't run 2 tires here in the spring, did you? I mean, 2-tire change in the spring.
Nah, we haven't never done that here. We did it, trying to think when we did it, but it's like three races ago, and it worked for us then. I'm just hoping it'll work for us today.
What about Matt getting through this traffic? He's been bogged down pretty much all day, hasn't he?
Well, when you get in the back here, you just got to work hard to get yourself, through the traffic, and you just can't move forward. And lap cars got you bottled up, and you just pretty much ride there. So we're fortunate enough to work our way up through from where we were. So I'm happy with that. Hopefully we can go the rest of the way here.
Thanks, Robbie. So far today, their luck has been good on the accident side. They're just trying to limit the damages as far as position loss. Alan?
Yeah, they missed all the trouble we saw when they had the contact with the Zero car. The tire and the caution came out and all that. It's a solid day. Not spectacular, but solid, sorry.
We touched on this a little earlier, BP and I, about these yellows have really hurt Earnhardt Jr. And Harvick right now on trying to get that track position back.
Hey,
they're running that lap.
I got something for both you guys. Fear Factor is for Wally. A wild new Fear Factor, Monday at 8/7 Central. And BP got one for you. Las Vegas.
Oh, I like that show. Me and James Caan, I like that.
And you like Vegas, too.
Yeah, I do, but I don't like Fear Factor. All those bugs.
Man. Monday night, 8/7 Central on NBC.
Have you ever tried a bug? No. Well, then don't knock it until you try something.
Okay, that's a good point.
What's the thing that you've eaten that I would consider the grossest?
No, don't go there. Let's talk about why they didn't throw the green flag. Why didn't they throw the green flag?
Waved it off to get another lap or so through the oil dry, I believe. And they may have spotted something right in front of the flag stand, too.
Okay.
He's got a good view.
Somebody rush out there and pick it up. So I want to see what's going to happen here. Got 75 laps to go.
Got a cleanup truck coming out from pit road, so they'll get that cleaned up and we'll get going. Jeremy Mayfield was just penalized a lap. A lap?
What did he do?
For speeding on pit road. If I get this right, while pit road was closed and while it was covered with oil, and they asked the cars to give the people trying to clean up the oil some room and so forth, and did not like the way he was proceeding to make several pit stops there under that caution. So, he'll go back to 27th place and try and fight and get a Lucky Dog award here if he can. Got, what, 1, 2, he's going to have to fight hard. 4, 5, 6, 7 cars a lap down. What they picked up off the front straightaway was potentially a piece of brake rotor. I wonder if look at that. Oh, there you go. 22 car. That's not good.
No, we see it rolling around the racetrack just before the start-finish line, and that could definitely puncture a tire.
And he's still out there.
Hey, Ward, you're minus right rear brake.
I don't know if that's a brake.
That might not be. That
can't be a brake rotor. He wouldn't be still out there.
No, that might be a piece of rubber.
Hot smoking rubber off one of these cars. Ward Burton in the 22s.
Oh, yeah,
he's in 20th place.
He'll find out real quick if it is.
Yeah. Yeah, brakes is something you need here. One more lap and we'll go back racing. All right, so we got guys who pitted under this caution, like Dale Earnhardt Jr., starting back in 12th place. And the guys who stayed on the racetrack in the first 11 spots. Jeff Gordon heading the field. So with what'll be 73 laps, can Junior get from 12th spot, wrestle the lead away from Jeff Gordon?
Well, Jeff Gordon's going to have a clean racetrack ahead of him, so he's going to be a lot faster than Dale Jr., even though Dale Jr.'s on better tires.
And the problem is Junior is in 12th position, but he's actually starting 24th.
Right.
A double line, he's 12th row.
Green flag, green flag.
Mike Skinner in the 0-1, the first one not on the lead lap, 22nd position up to the inside of the race leaders. Car pretty quickly.
Yep, you're right. He's going to do it.
Not so fast. He's got him now. And third place, Tony Stewart.
You see, Mike Skinner is in the position that he needs to run hard because he needs to stay in this position. One lap down, first car, one lap down. The caution flag comes out. He gets a lap back.
Lucky Dog.
That's right.
By the way, we've set a new record here today.
For Lucky Dogs?
No, well, yeah, probably have that. But 113 laps of caution. New record. Winston Cup racing here in Martinsville.
Now, BP, they took the green, first lap. Jeff Gordon was 2.4 seconds ahead of Earnhardt Jr. Now, just 3 laps, because of what we talked about, he's 4 seconds behind Jeff Gordon.
Saw Kurt Busch coming back out on track, 26 laps down. Why would he do that, you ask? Well, he's 10th in the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship standings, and it's very close from 10th on back.
And a lot of difference in money in those positions back there. We're not talking about millions, but we're talking about thousands.
Kurt's problems are not finished.
No.
But his car may be.
Yeah. Believe me, Kurt hopes so.
I believe he'll be done for the day now.
Oh, look at that. Is that oil coming off the back of it, or is that from earlier? Well, they would have found it.
Yeah, I think that's
if it was
a current condition, I think.
Yeah.
So Kurt Busch will be done for the day. And it looks like he's going to finish back somewhere around 39th place. And that will be 4 of 5 races that he's failed to finish here this last month and a week.
And Junior
lost another.
Losing ground. He's 5.7 seconds now. Tough deal here trying to get through the traffic, even when you're on new tires, because guys are side by side in front of you all the time.
Trouble, debris. Caution flag is
Debris
out.
down there at 3 and 4 up on the concrete. Looked like a piston rod.
A
Piston rod.
Gee.
Maybe that was what Kurt Busch probably had that time.
Yeah. Oil pan failure. The oil pan failed to hold the contents of the engine.
Okay, this is a break for Junior and some of those guys. They get to erase that 6 seconds now.
Man.
Yeah, we have plenty of mayhem here at Martinsville.
We have today.
But that's why all the 91,000 seats around this racetrack are pretty well full.
But now Junior needs for this thing to restart. You know, go out and pick up that debris. Let's restart, because we let Gordon and Johnson ride around on the caution flag 4 or 5 more laps. That helps them.
Yep, helps their tires. Yep. They don't wear the tires as much.
Junior picked up 2-3 spots there in that little run of green before the yellow, Marty.
Yeah, Alan, but the cautions are really hurting him here. They needed to go green. They need the longer it goes green, the better his car gets. They're encouraging him on the radio to drive it in deeper, use more brakes. They're confident he has a lot of brakes left, but the crew just thinking he's not driving it hard enough into the corner right now, trying to tell him, listen, you've got plenty of brakes left, use them.
So Junior back in 9th spot now.
You don't hear that much here at Martinsville.
No. And we'll go from the shortest track on the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit to one of the fastest next weekend, Atlanta Motor Speedway, Saturday, TNT. 1 o'clock Eastern Time. The Aaron's 312. Wally will be in the field, plus that incredible race for the NASCAR Busch Series Championship. 5 drivers within 44 points of the lead. Then next Sunday, Home Depot presents NASCAR Winston Cup Racing on NBC. Coverage starting at noon Eastern Time with Discover Card Countdown to Green. You know who's going to fill in for you next weekend?
No, I don't.
Jamie McMurray, maybe.
Yes, he will.
Well, I talked to him this morning. He was so excited about watching you race and giving you a hard time, Wally.
Yeah, well, that's what everybody can't wait to get up here to do that.
That's right.
That'd be fun.
There he is.
He's not having the best of days today, but he is in the top 10. I mean, he's in 8th place, missing a right front fender. That's probably not bad. Bill, what do you got?
Well, just thinking about Jeff Gordon being out front here, going for the sweep at Martinsville, as you talked about. Fred Lorenzen, the only driver to win the pole for both races in the same season and win the race here. Jeff's out front, and his pit crew helped get him there. Here are the guys that got the job done.
Hi, I'm Robbie Loomis, crew chief, Forest City, Florida.
Jay Lupo, front windshield, Cleveland, Ohio. Craig Curione, front tire carrier from Sanborn, New York.
Shane Parsnell, front tire changer, Oswego, New York.
Jeff Cook, Jackman, Charlotte, North Carolina. My name's Steve Letarte. I'm the rear tire carrier. I'm from Cornish, Maine.
Shane Church, rear tire changer, Rushville, Indiana.
Jeff Craven, gas man, High Point, North Carolina. Caleb Hurd, catch can, Pulaski, Virginia.
If Jeff Gordon stays out front and wins this race, it's more than a victory. When I talked to him out of the Discover Card Countdown to Green earlier today and asked him if they could finish as high as second in the points, you could see him light up. It's obviously something they've thought about. The championship may be out of the picture, but jumping to second certainly is not.
You can tell Jeff's been down on the bottom of the racetrack all day. The left side does not have a mark.
Yeah.
The right side's all tore up. Well, not tore up, but a lot of tire marks and scuff marks.
Restart with 60 laps to go. Ricky Craven in the 32 trying to get one of 3 laps he's lost back from the race leader. Kind of been a tough day for Ty Ryder. Jeff Gordon leading, Jimmy Johnson second, Tony Stewart third, Ryan Newman fourth, Terry Labonte in fifth, then Ken Schrader in sixth, followed by Bill Elliott, Jamie McMurray, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Jeff Burton. Matt Kenseth runs in 14th, Kevin Harvick in 16th. So not spectacular, but solid for Kenseth where his championship is concerned today. To this point. A lot of things can happen. in 60 laps here in Martinsville.
How about that Schrader in the 6th position? These guys, when they get to a racetrack that you can adjust a car mechanically, they do well, don't they, Matt?
They sure do, Benny. Kenny Schrader hasn't won a Winston Cup race since 1991. He's never won a short track Winston Cup race, but this team keeps making gains by leaps and bounds. A quiet day, but a very consistent day. Currently runs in the 6th position. Kenny has not had a top 5 since 1998. They are just knocking on that door. Who knows? Maybe today is when he breaks back in.
Had a top 10 finish here in the April race. And you can kind of tell that where this team is lacking, besides the sponsorship department that they're trying to find to fill up those quarter panels, is the sponsorship money doesn't allow you to do the engineering work that some of the other teams can. And here's the stat I'll back that statement up with. Their average start and finish on the short tracks is twice what it is on the bigger tracks.
Where the engineering stuff, aerodynamics, all that stuff really comes into play. And again, they're only a 1-car team versus a Roush with a 5-car team. Hendrick with a 3-car team.
Team owners, Beth Ann Morgenthau and Tony Morgenthau, out of the Miami Beach area, funding this car basically out of their pockets with some associate sponsorship help during the season. Still trying to find that backing that'll let them take the team up to the next level. They took, Schrader owns a dirt track outside of St. Louis, I-55 Raceway in Peevely, Missouri. They took Beth Ann out there with some race cars and let her go drive around and have a play day last week. And Schrader said he's very respectable behind the wheel.
Also, I say Schrader's a pretty good short track driver.
Yeah. Our championship top 2 kind of close together.
Kenseth running in 14th position. Harvick right behind him.
Remember at Charlotte when Harvick was kind of messing around with Kenseth when he was around him?
I remember
that, yeah.
Let's see if he gets to messing with him here. They are both bottled up in some very heavy traffic. And all these guys are racing for position. Rudd in the 21 and Martin in the 6.
Contact between Tony Raines and Jeff Green there in front of this pack. They both saved it.
So Harvick by Matt Kenseth, by Ricky Rudd, now working on Mark Martin. That'll be for 13th place. Remember that Kenseth just got 2 tires on that last pit stop.
Oh, hey, what old Jeff Green's getting pushed around in his last couple laps.
For sure he did that time.
And this is where the tires are going to start to shine for the guys that changed tires and the guys that didn't. Now is one of those guys that they're on the tires for a long time. Their lap times are really going to start showing.
Jeremy Mayfield being black flagged, a lot of smoke from behind the 19 car, and he reports to pit road. And they'll try and figure out what it is. Going for the hood pins, that's not good. Kenseth trying to fend off Casey Mears for 16th place. I have to imagine that at a track with this much traffic, with the laps winding down and people starting to be less patient and bounce off each other, that's got to be a pretty tense time for a team leading the championship.
Oh, yeah, I would think so. I think he's just really wants to see those wide open spaces of the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, he wants this thing to be over right now.
He'll take this 16th and just quietly go on down the road.
Coming up after NASCAR on NBC, continuing coverage of the 2003 Gravity Games, the Bike Street Finals this week. Plus the men's wakeboarding finals, the 2003 Gravity Games, next after NASCAR here on NBC.
All right,
46 laps to go.
Junior goes by Schrader, 4 seconds behind. He's got some reasonable, clean racetrack. Let's see how fast he can run now. Meanwhile, what's going on with 97, Dave?
Well, BP, I just wanted to know, we did try to talk with Kurt. He calmly exited his hauler by himself, took a long walk down pit road, and left the speedway. I asked him if he'd like to talk to us. He said no. Okay. And I can understand why.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
It's been kind of a tough week. Kurt's a big Cubs fan. That didn't work out for him. And then he had a really lousy day here too.
And last time by, Junior, I looked at the scoring monitor, and he was faster than Jeff Gordon, but only marginally.
Yeah.
He's got to make up a little under 4 seconds.
I think he can make it up. It just depends on how quick he gets by the cars between him and Jeff.
Let's check the speeds at the line. We'll see the top 10.
How about that?
Texas Terry. Trying to get a spot away from Ryan Newman. That'll be 4th place. Terry Labonte led for 40 laps earlier in the race. Started 31st today. Crew made a pit strategy call at lap 107. Did not pit when the other front runners did, and that got him their track position. And now while he messes around with Ryan Newman, here comes Dale Jr. to mess around with him. Marty.
Junior's cleared all the lap traffic, trying to track down Terry Labonte. Said the car is coming to him. He also likes this set of tires much better. So I believe the call, BP, was the right one. Couldn't have won the race on the old set. This set much better for the 8 car.
And he's got 40 laps. Not long. Dave, this 5 car's got a good run going.
It's really not bad, BP. They pitted on about lap 355 with the leaders and made a adjustment because the car was a little bit loose off the corner. They made a chassis adjustment, and the car is good to the end, even though he's getting pressure from Junior. Bill?
Ryan Newman slowly trying to reel in the leaders. The car's pretty good, staying free from traffic, but may not have enough time to get back up front. He said to Matt Borland earlier, you can see the pattern that's developing. He goes, yep, I'm watching it too. They thought the race was coming to them with the cautions, but that's not the case. Right now, the 8 looking inside the 5.
Had to be for 5th place.
And Bill, speaking of traffic, I'll tell you what, the leaders are going to be in traffic pretty quick, and that's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, it is.
That's second time that Junior's just kind of nipped the back bumper of Terry Labonte in the middle of the corner.
Tell you what, Terry's getting a great bite off that corner. Oh, Junior drives her in there that time.
Yeah, Terry pointed him by on that one.
I think the second time he got hit, he got the message. 8 cars faster. So, Junior to 5th. 38 laps to go. 3.9 seconds behind Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon's last pit stop was at lap 355. Dale Jr. pitted at lap 406.
But once again, just like with Ryan Newman, we've talked about so many times, so many caution flag laps has saved the Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, all these guys saved hot laps on those tires.
Let's check speeds at the line again. Now that Junior is free of some of that traffic. Yep. 8 cars fast. Can he get through them? And these are not going to be easy passes. He's going to have a hard time passing Ryan Newman, and he's going to have a hard time passing Tony Stewart.
I think he'll start using the bumper if he has to. He's going to, I mean, he can't waste time with him. He's going to have to be aggressive. Get the 2-lap rule.
Yep.
As he lays the bumper to him.
2-lap rule is you hold me up for 2 laps and then I move you.
Yeah, when you have new tires, it's kind of like, okay. Here I am, and I'm coming through.
Go ahead, Marty.
One of the things that some of the guys on the 8 team and I were just noticing is that because of the fresher tires, Junior's able to work that lower line better than most everyone else. That's where he's trying to pass everybody. That's certainly where he's getting all the speed from, coming off that low line real hard.
He's not able to cut under Newman, though.
No.
Not with us earlier today. This racetrack, the bottom lane of this racetrack was ground about a year ago, kind of evening up the grip. The bottom lane has a little less grip. The top lane is the longer way around. And so that's why you see guys like Newman running up off the bottom of the racetrack where you might think would be the quicker way around.
What's Ryan saying, Bill?
Well, it's what they're saying to him, Benny. They're saying they keep telling him how close the 8 is getting, 1 car length inside your quarter. Then they told Ryan, try and stay low if you can. He just came back with 1 word, loose.
Yeah, well, he's going to be loose because the 8 car's got the rear bumper jacked up a little bit.
Junior just can't get that lane underneath it.
And it's just, I think it's a matter of time before he
pushes him out of the way like that.
Yeah, because, he, you know, like I said, you got to go.
Newman's not giving up.
Oh, he isn't. Ryan Newman is. Whoa! Junior about crashed, and looks like the 49 car. Oh, I thought he was going to go by Junior.
Terry Labonte jumped out of the gas. Ken Schrader got alongside him. That's for 6th and 7th spot. stick. Hasn't stopped trying. No, Terry's going to hold him off. But that might have just been, that one slip might have been what does in Junior's chance to catch Jeff Gordon if he doesn't get a caution flag.
Yep. Because right now he's 5 seconds behind Jeff Gordon.
And he still has to pass 3 cars to get to him.
All right, let's try this again, he said. Just get that grip off the corner.
12 cars getting off the corner pretty good.
Kevin Harvick trying to pick off 10th spot from Jeff Burton.
Looks like he's going to be able to do it.
He's trying. And just watching while we're looking at this, also Jeff Gordon has caught the tail end of the field and is going to begin to get bogged down into some lap traffic. So
now's when you have to have your spotter up there doing a really good job trying to get these guys to give you a lane. The car's a lap down or more.
I'll tell you what we found out this year, 2003. Ryan Newman, driver 12 car. He doesn't ask for much. He doesn't give much.
he just got a little bit there.
He's taking some there. And he'll give it right back right here. Let's see if he... Junior just can't hold that bottom lane off of turn 4.
I tell you, Newman's doing a heck of a job considering the tire difference right now on both those cars. Junior really gets it sideways that time when he jumped on the gas.
Well, that's determination. You really have to tip your cap to that.
Yeah.
That 12 car.
Does it to you every week.
Yep. You hear Junior's engine just jumping in RPM. Spun the tires a little bit off the corner. They broke traction.
Pushing him.
Oh, this is good.
That's what you call applying pressure.
So, Marty, what is he saying now?
I think he's running out of patience, BP. He said he won't move out of the way. I clearly have a faster car, but I don't think Ryan has to move out of the way in that situation. Make him pass you, which is what Ryan's doing.
He just got moved out of the way there.
He just got moved out of the way there, didn't he?
Clear, you got him.
Yeah, we'll see what happens when they get down to this corner. You better get away from
Yeah, that's right.
You better be fast.
And you know that. If you do that to somebody, you say, well, I better get going.
Payback's coming if you don't.
Because you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
So Junior up to 4th place now. But what was that, about 20 laps he spent?
Yeah, he
12?
lost time. Unless the yellow comes out and closes the pack up, not going to have enough time.
No. So now Ryan Newman left to try and fend off Terry Labonte to hang on to the top 5 finish. Kevin Harvick trying to pick up another spot, put a little more distance between himself and Matt Kenseth at the finish. That's 9th place he's trying to take from Bill Elliott. And he's got him.
Say Harvick, the 29 car, has had a very good race car all day. He just got mired back in the pack, lost that track position, and just has not been able to get it back.
Had a left front lug nut hang on a pit stop at lap 355. Dropped him back to 12th place then, and that was the track position he lost that he hasn't been able to make back up. This pack hasn't slowed Jeff Gordon down as much as I thought it might. He's really moved through them pretty cleanly. He's getting a lot of courtesy from the other drivers.
Yeah. And that's the benefit you have when you're the leader. They're going to be looking for you. You know, there's a leader behind you. You don't worry about the 3rd place or the 4th place car so much as you do the leader.
Let's check in on our top 10 drivers with 18 laps to go. Marty?
Jeff Gordon is going for the perfect 2003 record at Martinsville, Allen. 2 poles and 2 wins. The last time he pulled off a season sweep at a racetrack, believe it or not, 1998 at Rockingham. He's only done it 3 times in his career, going for his 4th. Matt?
Jimmy Johnson running second, also thinking about the bigger picture. Entered today 15 points, only 85 markers out of second, currently running in the 2nd position. His car was tight, tried to adjust with brake bias, but they need a stop on pit road to really fix it. Meanwhile, Tony Stewart's car still tight, trying to knock down another solid top 5 finish, Marty.
Junior's trying to do all he can with those 57-lap pressure tires, easy in, straight off. That's all they're saying. He's saying nothing on the radio, Bill.
Ryan Newman started 7th on the grid, 4th in the championship standings, currently running 5th. They may not win today, but they'll go home feeling like winners, Dave.
Terry Labonte pressuring Newman, celebrating his 200th short track start in style. Matt?
Only 2 previous starts this year with this car for Jimmy McMurray. It's finished 3rd and 10th, knocking down another top 10 finish. But right now, his car is tight, and he's also starting to feel a little sick due to carbon monoxide. Bill?
You might think Kevin Harvick's radio isn't working, but he's just not using it. The only thing on the radio, the spotter, clear as he works his way through the field. Matt?
Driver 9 running in the 9th position. Bill Elliott hasn't said a whole lot on the radio, just focused, concentrating. His spotter, Tim Vito, out of the Busch driver, telling him, whatever you've done over the past 3 or 4 laps, keep doing it. You are picking up some time. Marty?
Bad start to the day for Jeff Burton. Got better, then it went bad again. He said, I'm so loose right now, I can't do anything with this thing. Dave?
How about this? Dale Jarrett running 11th, crashed in qualifying, penalized on pit road, spun on the racetrack. Amazing run for these guys. 17 of Matt Kenseth, not so good this time. Worse and worse this run. 2 tires did not work for these guys. Don't look for him to try it again anytime soon.
Kenseth back to 15th place. Just behind him on the racetrack, Ken Schrader. Would you believe? Had to make an unscheduled pit stop just a minute ago, Matt.
Really a heartbreaker for Ken Schrader and the BAM team. Started 18th, solidly in the top 10. He had a flat tire, Alan.
Had to come in for 2 right side tires and has dropped him 23rd. Back to 23rd place, not on the lead lap.
Matt Kenseth is trying his best to get by the 21 car because that is 3 more points. If he can just do it.
Kevin Harvick has moved up to 7th while we watch Matt Kenseth be overtaken by Ken Schrader. And Jeff Gordon continue to slice through the field. He's gotten through this traffic very cleanly. He's just put his teammate Joe Nemechek back a lap down, or a lap down. So Nemechek, the 20th place car, is now a lap down to the race leader. It's funny, this race opened with a long stretch of green flag racing that Jeff Gordon dominated. It's going to close with a long stretch of green flag racing that Jeff Gordon is apparently going to dominate.
But he's got to be careful passing these lap cars. How many times today have we seen a fast car rub up against a slow car and puncture a tire? And if that happens right now, Jimmy Johnson is only 1 second behind him.
Yeah, just see 38 car lays over. And you're right, BP. You can give these guys plenty of room.
Here's Elliott Sadler. Jimmy Johnson just not able to close up any more than about 7/8 tenths of a second behind Jeff Gordon.
And one good thing for Jeff is that these guys he's following, that he's putting a lap down or more, are running single file. They're not racing side by side for position right now.
Well, Jeff Gordon started on pole today. Dominated the early laps of this race. Then got kind of shuffled back in traffic. Had a problem on a pit stop that cost him some time on one of his early pit stops. Dug back out from that. Then his crew got him the lead off a set of pit stops and put him back out in front. And he just hasn't yielded.
That's 6 points. 17 car goes by 21. That's 3. By the 6th, that's another 3. Could be big before the year's over.
So Matt up to 13th place. Thank you, Mark. And for Jeff Gordon, now 5 laps to go, less than 5 to go. Jeff Gordon has finished 5th the last 4 straight weeks. And his record here at Martinsville is pretty solid. 11 top 5s, 15 top 10s in 21 races here.
And Junior has caught Tony Stewart for the 3rd position. So I think the tire change was the right move for Junior.
I think he spent a lot of time around the 12 car. Like we talked about, that really hurt. He lost probably 15 laps doing that.
He's in a hurry to get by Tony, too.
He may help him along as well.
He was running.
Jumping on the gas a little bit hard early.
He was running 2nd when he pitted, restarted 12th. He's going to probably finish 3rd or 4th.
He's really digging right now. I mean, that time he drove the car in a little bit too deep. The car pushed up the racetrack, so he's driving that car hard right now.
But let's talk about the man who is about to take the white flag, Jeff Gordon. Last win for Jeff Gordon was here at Martinsville in April. Had some troubles over the summer that dropped him to 6th in the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship standings, 1 lap away from the checkered flag. Good pit work, a good handling car, track position when they needed it. Going to be the recipe for victory today for this 24 team. And a season sweep at Martinsville for Jeff Gordon as he wins the Subway 500 by 1 second over his teammate Jimmy Johnson. 311 of the 500 laps Jeff Gordon will have led today.
Pretty dominating, isn't it?
At least Rick Hendrick did not have two cars crash each other at Martinsville this time.
That Monday morning meeting will be a little bit more pleasant than the last time.
Oh, I think he'll be pretty happy. First season sweep at Martinsville since Rusty Wallace did it in 1994. Jeff Gordon with his 5th victory at this track. He led the final 295 laps. Marty?
Robbie Loomis, you told me this morning April was a long time ago. Same feelings, and were you worried about Junior with the fresh tires?
Really were. I watched Junior. That's the longest 50 laps I think I ran there at the end of the race. But really got to thank Rick Hendrick, like say hello to Papa Joe at home, and John Hendrick. It's just, this team has been incredible. The strength they've had, they showed through the tough times, and come back here and be in victory lane at Martinsville. I love Martinsville, I always have, and it's a special place. Really nice to be here.
Robbie's hometown, about 30 miles down the road. Win number 64 for Jeff Gordon in his career.
Nice little burnout there, standing still in place. That'll be our Chevy winning moment. Jeff Gordon, today's winner. In the number 24 Monte Carlo, Jeff will tell you the only thing that comes close to Monte Carlo's reputation on the track is its reputation on the street. More champions depend on Chevy. We'll be there.
That's a pretty cool shot as he drives in through the smoke to victory lane.
Now he's had a lot more tire than we thought, Benny.
He must have. Definitely laid down some rubber, didn't he?
Second win of 2003 for Jeff Gordon. And Matt Kenseth coming up with a 13th place finish. Kevin Harvick wound up 7th. Championship gets a little bit tighter here today. Now just 4 races to go.
Where in the world do all those people come from so quickly?
Well, let's see. You got your photographers. And you got your team members.
Actually, 2 teams.
Yeah. All right, while we wait for Jeff to get ready to talk to us, let's hear from Matt.
And Tony Stewart started the day in the 16th position. And Tony, looked like an old school day, kind of bump and gouge, but a semi-clean day for you.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's probably the cleanest day we've had here at Martinsville. We started 16th and just got our way up in the top 5, and the guys had excellent pit stops, and that's what it took today. I mean, we had a good car that we kept fighting a loose condition all day, but finally got it decent at the end. Just wasn't as good as the 48 and the 24 and the 8.
Quickly, a new carbon monoxide filter. How do you feel?
I could do another 500 laps right now. I mean, I think I really want to applaud and thank NASCAR. I mean, they really worked hard trying to help, make this sport safer for all of us. And this is probably the worst place as far as carbon monoxide, just because the air just doesn't get out of here. So really want to thank NASCAR for helping out and all the work they've done, just not to make the show better, but just to make the drivers safer and make us feel better in the cars.
Tony Stewart, 3rd to Bill Weber.
Where Jeff Gordon on the front stretch climbs out after sweeping both races at the same track for the 4th time in his Winston Cup career. And it's another season of double-digit wins for Jeff Gordon. And I just got a Pepsi shower. I need the towel after that. That's okay. Congratulations. Let's talk about pit road, first of all. Oh, here's a car owner, Rick Hendrick, coming in. Tell me about pit road, first of all. Some good stops and one bad one. You had to work your way through the field.
Well, we took 2 tires at one time, and it wasn't so much the 2 tires as a lap car knocked me up high, and 3 or 4 cars got by me and just couldn't ever make up that deficit. And tell you what, this thing on new tires was a rocket ship, and it was not too bad there at the end either. And my teammate Jimmy Johnson he was pushing me hard. I couldn't make any mistakes or he would have gotten by me, but Ooh, can we race at Martinsville every weekend?
You like this place, huh?
I do. Just want to thank DuPont and Pepsi, GMAC, Fritos, Quaker State, everybody, Haas, everybody that just really makes this team what it is. And tell you what, it takes a lot to have the expectations that we have on ourselves to go that long without winning. But if you don't have a team like this and a guy like this making the calls, you're not going to get back to victory lane.
4 to go, Jeff. How many more of those can you win? You have a reputation for finishing strong.
Well, I think, we've really come on strong here. I mean, we what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. In August, tore a lot of people down, but we kept our heads up strong and straight. And our race cars are awesome. Our race team is awesome. And, I'm looking forward to the rest of them.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jeff Gordon and the 24 crew celebrate in victory lane. Marty?
Meanwhile, his teammate and car owner, or his employee, Jimmy Johnson over here finishing second. Well, for a guy who was unhappy yesterday, this is a great finish for this team.
And it's just so hard for me to figure out what I need here by myself. When I'm in traffic and racing, things are a lot better for me then. And we just put the 24 setup underneath this thing and let me go get used to it. And probably about halfway through the race, I started making forward progress on my own and really did what I needed to do. So I'm just very proud of this whole Lowe's team for sticking behind me. I'm very proud of Hendrick Motorsports. It's our first 1-2 with this 24 and 48 team, and hopefully there's many more to come.
Matt?
And Ryan Newman just coming by to congratulate Jimmy Johnson. Your first top 5 finish here. That was a great day for you and this team.
Yeah, just to finish in the top 5 here was a feat for us. Our best previous finish, I think, was 14th, 1 lap down. So good effort, but, we'll see what we can do the rest of the season.
And a great battle also with you and the 820-year senior even came by and congratulated you.
Yeah, I was out of stuff when it came to the race car and tires and everything, and Junior had to do everything he could to get by me, and, just good short track racing, I guess.
Ryan Newman, 5th place today here at Martinsville. Dave?
Check with Dave here in just a second as he follows up on a story for us down in the NASCAR Winston Cup garage. Jeff Gordon in victory lane. Dave, you got it?
Matt, 13th place today, and at the end, it looked like the tough part was the 2-tire stop, right?
Yeah, I mean, we needed to try something, and I thought, we both thought more of the leaders were going to come in, and we get a lot more track position getting to, which we did gain some track position, and, it was a good call if the car would have handled okay. It's just on 2, my car didn't run very good, and that was the first time we tried it. It just made me...
Because you were in the 20s.
Yeah, it just made me extremely tight. So actually we were running 14th before that pit stop, and we came out 16th or something like that. So it worked out okay. I wish I would have had forward then, and I probably could have maneuvered up through there a little bit better, but all in all, it was a good day for us.
All in all, you feel good regarding how the car handled and how much traffic you had?
Yeah, I feel great. I feel like I just won the race. So this was a big hurdle for us. We really struggle here, and finish 13th here is a great job by these guys. I'm usually never happy finishing 13th, but overall it's a great day for all the DeWalt guys.
Dave, if nothing else, you can say Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s team tried. That second last set of tires wasn't going to work, but you had to come in and do something, Junior.
Yeah, we wanted to win. We run in top 5 3 times in a row, now 4. So we just thought getting tires would give us our best shot. We weren't going to finish second. Jimmy was coming, so, oh, man, what a long day, They need to cut it back to 400, man. It's hard. It's tough, but I don't know, we just, I like the track, and we run good here. Can't figure out how to really win, It's just kind of before in the top 5 in a row, we gained some points, so we'll take it.
He said I could have caught the 24, just ran out of time.
Here's how they ran on the Subway 500 at Martinsville. Jeff Gordon's 63rd NASCAR Winston Cup win. Jimmy Johnson, 3rd top 10 finish in 4 Martinsville starts. Tony Stewart, 5th top 5 finish in the last 5 weeks.
Another top 10 for Jamie McMurray, the bestest rookie leader.
Kevin Harvick with a 7th place finish. Matt Kenseth, the championship leader, finished 13th today. Heard from him just a second ago. Last on the lead lap, Greg Biffle in 19th place.
We'll see some cars still 1 lap down. Strader will finish 1 lap down. What a tough break.
Yeah, that's too bad. And because of the lucky dog thing, not many guys 1 lap down. 2 or more, but only a few cars 1 lap down. Not much attrition today either.
Usually this racetrack just eats this equipment up. Engines, gears, but what's the points look like?
How about that? Matt Kenseth's lead was 267 over Kevin Harvick today, so Kenseth gaining 27 points in his bid for the championship. Dave?
Now with Kevin Harvick and Kevin 7th place finish today. I know. It's a crazy thing. After everything you went through today, you happy with 7th?
Not really. I mean, the whole thing started off when guys running the race didn't know how to run the race the same way they ran at the first few things, and the green flag never came out for the pits, and myself and the 97 and the 8. And we just never recovered from it, got back in a track position, and really just had a tough time getting back up there. But gained a lot of it back, and just a gain. We're happy. Good day for the Jim Goodwrench Chevrolet, and go get them next week.
Next week at Atlanta. Alan?
Kevin referring to a pit stop back at lap 231 when there was some contention about when the pits were open, but our replays showed that the green flag was waving in plenty of time.
Yes, those guys just missed it because they're not accustomed to seeing it. They didn't feel like it was going to be out then.
There's the unique trophy they give for winning a race at Martinsville, a nice grandfather clock. And next weekend, the race for NASCAR's championships moves on to Atlanta. The Aaron's 312 on TNT Saturday at 1 Eastern. Wally's Racing next Sunday. NASCAR Winston Cup Racing presented by Home Depot. We start at noon Eastern with Discover Card Countdown to Green.